What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media. As you can see, we are here for the inaugural episode of Bad Booking. I am joined tonight by my good friend Scott Razdark
Good evening.
Wolf.
Good
Good,
evening, my
good
friend.
morning. Good morning to you, right? Or
Afternoon.
afternoon? Okay.
Yeah, close enough to close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough. For those joining the late stream, this is not our usual start time. We accommodated certain people's start time, uh, and and those people couldn't make it.
Unfortunately,
So
unfortunately, it does. Hey, I see Josh is here. Josh is here,
yeah,
guesting in our chat. That's a bonus.
yeah, there you go. Um,
So yeah, we did throw you a swerve.
we did. That's right.
all the Tony,
Um,
all the Tony Khan surprise special.
so the idea of this show was to give us an opportunity to kind of cover all forms of professional wrestling, not just one thing or two things. Not just one specific show.
Yeah,
Kind of all around, and
basically
you
a
know,
breakdown of the week in wrestling, pretty much, isn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah, kind of like a breakdown. I gave you that rundown. That rundown was actually done by Mark, and I'm not a fan of it because I don't want to what I mean by that is Mark kind of has it set like, oh, let's talk about what happened on Raw, let's talk about what happened on NXT, let's talk about what happened on Dynamite and SmackDown and Impact, and it's like I don't want to do that. I don't want to cover one specific show. I just want to cover kind of things just like in general,
Yeah.
things going on in the company and whatnot.
Oh,
So,
sure, dude. Yeah, like, look,
you know,
at the end of the day, that we're going to break down the topics as to which company they pertain to, but it's going to be one of those things where it's not just going to be a set out show. It's going to be, let's talk about everything we can and get as much of it off our chest as we can.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, um, you know, uh, for those that may have been around for the first episode or that are going to catch this later on, Bad Booking actually started out as a wrestling, mixed martial arts, and boxing show. And then, kind of went on hiatus. And when me and Mark talked about doing something with a little bit more broad horizon, Bad Booking was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, well, we'll just drop the boxing and the MMA, and we'll just stick to the professional wrestling part of it. So, um, yeah. Again, want to give a special shout out and thank you to my good friend Scott for being flexible and being able to, um, you know,
Very happy to
uh,
help out, man. Very happy to
absolutely.
help out. Like, anytime I'm available and I can, I'll come and help you out and throw a bone your way. Because that's what friends do, my friend.
And I appreciate that, sir. Like you wouldn't believe. This light is really bright, so I'm going to see if I can.
You think your light is bright?
Uh,
I've got the outside light looking at me.
okay, there we go.
I
Yeah,
don't
not as
even
bright.
need artificial lights. I've got the bloody outside light.
Yeah, I don't think there's any part of the day where mine shines bright enough like that. So,
Fair
um,
enough. How's
so
your week
what,
been, my friend?
it has been really really good. Tiring. We went to, we drove 3 hours to Wichita, Kansas, last weekend.
Yep.
And then we had the show Vendetta on Saturday, and then of course the usual. Do my Sunday morning show for football, American football over here, with Sports Empire Network. Monday,
Yep.
nothing going on there, but Tuesday the Chiefs, the Arrowhead Asylum. Wednesday the Post Dynamite show. Thursday the I-70 Hot Tag. Uh,
Which, by the way, that hot tag was fucking amazing this week. Like, it was a really good episode.
I enjoyed it quite a bit too. Um, and numbers wise, it was probably one of our better ones as well. And then also on Saturday, was going to go to Topeka, Kansas for a show
Yep.
uh, that Tommy Dreamer was on, and it was funny because I didn't even think to look. I just assumed that all the shows are going to be in the evening, and
Yep.
then we get to or I'm getting ready to start getting ready for it, and then I look on my phone and I see that it was actually at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's like 12:50, and it takes an hour to get there. So I was like, yeah, probably better not do that. So we went to another one that was about an hour and 15 minutes away,
Yep.
and yeah, it was New Breed Wrestling. So
How was that? Because I know that chatted with a few new breed. You've chatted with a few new breed stars lately, haven't you?
we have that Austin Moitalo kid was from New Breed. Shy Lynn was from New Breed, and Slammer was from New Breed. Now I
Yep.
saw Austin in Slammer yesterday. I didn't see Shy Lynn, but it was different. It
Yep.
was definitely different. It's crazy because there was like six guys there to work. So
Yep.
they started off the night with a battle royal with all six of those guys,
Oh no.
and then afterwards they all individually had matches. So it
Oh,
was like, yeah,
awkward, but at least they still put on a show.
yep, yeah. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
We had fun. We didn't get home till late, but we had a blast. So we'll kind of get right into this, man. Were you
Sure, man.
looking at this and see anything that you wanted to start off with?
So let's go straight for the gullet. The cash in. The cash in.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because if one of those guys show up later, I want to be like, well, sorry, you didn't get to talk about the cash in.
That cash in was absolutely the most moronic piece of cash in history that they have ever done. Um, I get the failed cash in side of things. I completely understand the failed cash in side of things, but for it to be on the US title when essentially there was an open challenge, like, I'm sorry, but what the hell? That is just completely the title of this show. Bad booking.
Yeah, no, and what's crazy to me, Scott, is that there are people online like justifying it, like, oh well, the money in the bank, just has been a really crappy concept for a while, and
Hey, Stephen.
yeah, Stephen, appreciate you tuning in tonight. But yeah, like there's people online that talk about the money in the bank has been a stale concept for a while, has been and has needed to be abolished for a couple of years, or Hunter's going to move it back to WrestleMania, like that means anything at all. I don't
That
know
doesn't
what the
change
hell
it.
that has to do with. I have
That
no
doesn't
idea
change
what the
it.
hell. Yeah, I have no idea what the hell that has to do with it.
I think they're
Um,
thinking just because the essentially it won't be its own pay per view anymore. That's what they mean by that. But it still doesn't change the fact of that contract's still going to exist, and unless you're using the right people for it and you're actually putting it into a proper story and proper booking, it's just going to seem like another prop, just like the 24/7 title.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. No, I'm okay with that. Like you don't want it anymore. You can't think of any good booking ideas for it or anything like that. Fine, then let's do away with it.
yeah,
Jake, appreciate you joining tonight, sir.
Jake,
Um,
the king of the Discord, the
that's
king of
right.
the Discord.
Um, but you know, like I said, no matter what the excuse is, like in the end, it's terrible, terrible idea, and it was. I mean, you know, the other argument I've seen is that, oh well, he's going to get repackaged. It doesn't matter. Like how many times has Baron Corbin been repackaged
Look,
since
they
the
said
Lone
this.
Wolf when
They
he
said the
failed
same
his
thing.
cash in?
They said the same thing about fucking. Sorry about swearing. They said the same thing about bloody carrying Cross with this whole Bray Wyatt situation, that it was going to be a repackage of him. Like, it doesn't matter if you try to repackage him. Austin Theory now was the Vince guy. He was Vince's guy. He
Yeah,
doesn't, and it looks to be the throwing away of everything Vince wanted to do. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also, you could have kept that cash in and made him at least attempt with Roman Reigns. Okay, we knew he wouldn't beat Roman Reigns, but the having that little bit of fear that he might actually
yeah,
succeed.
but you know, like, so here's the thing, like the Money in the Bank cash in, um, the what made it unique and cool is it gave you an upper hand. Like we
For sure.
know, like that's why only two cash in winners throughout the history of Money in the Bank, only two have said, I'm going to challenge you to a match. They
Yep.
haven't done the run in cash in. And that's
Yeah.
Braun Strowman and
John Cena.
RVD.
Wasn't John Cena?
Did John Cena announce his match?
Yeah, John Cena announced his.
Okay.
Yeah.
And John Cena lost, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
because he didn't want to be the one to
yeah.
cash in and then on someone who was fallen. He wanted to do the good
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
thing.
Yep. Absolutely. And you know, Braun did the same thing, and you know, all three of them did the same thing. So there's three guys: John
Yeah.
Cena, RVD, Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman and John Cena both lost. I'll
Yep.
get to that in a minute. But you know, the idea of the Money in the Bank cash in was to give you a one up, that it could be done at any time. You know, Edge, the ultimate opportunist. You know, all
Heist
those
of the
other
Century
things.
by Seth Rollins.
Heist of the Century by Seth Rollins. Because why? Because
Because
why?
it was fucking,
Because
it was out of nowhere.
Seth knew that he couldn't beat Brock one on one.
Yep.
Just like Austin Theory knows he can't beat Roman Reigns one on one.
For sure.
So he would cash the Money in the Bank in at the time when Roman looked the weakest
Yep.
and win the Money in the Bank.
100% is the
Now,
way it should have been.
I'm not going to get into an argument of was Austin Theory ready or not. It doesn't matter. He
No.
won. You can't erase it. You can't do anything. Unless what? Unless you completely, I don't want to use the term bury, but unless you completely knock him down,
For
then
sure. Yeah.
then you
Well,
know, I mean,
well,
like,
there's
don't get me
definitely
wrong.
also.
Like, Austin Theory can still have a good career in the WWE, but Austin Theory's not going to get over the way that he should, being young, having the look, and all the other things that Austin Theory has. There's no way he's going to get over now. And the reason why I have facts to back that up is let's look at every single person who has had a failed cash in
Yeah.
and show me where their career has gone. Okay? Baron Corbin has not been the same since he lost his cash in, the Lone Wolf. He's tried the Happy Corbin and all that other stuff, um, and and whatnot. So, but Baron Corbin was on his way on a big push to become a main event talent in WWE when he got called up from NXT. Hence
Yep.
why he won Money in the Bank. And then they squandered his cash in and they stopped his growth. And he has flip flopped from here to there ever since.
Yeah.
Otis. Let's look at Otis.
Oh,
Otis wins Money in the Bank, loses Money in the Bank to The Miz, and then goes on to do absolutely nothing.
mm-hmm.
Now, we can argue all day because it's an opinion of who looks like a star and who doesn't. Who's going to be the next big thing and who isn't. The argument can be made that we decide that as the fans. The other
Yeah,
argument can be made that Vince or whoever the head of
head of
creative
creative.
is,
Yeah,
it decides who is. Does not matter. So when you get the you know when you get the Money in the Bank, that is essentially saying like, hey, this guy is headed for something. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody said the Miz was never going to be the guy,
Oh, for
and that
sure. Yeah.
Miz couldn't be taken seriously, and everybody was upset when the Miz won the Money in the Bank. And
By the
look what
way,
happened.
don't know if you noticed, Mark is in the chat.
Oh, I did not notice.
Mark is in the chat. I think you got timelines crossed. Is he? Because he's in.
Well, it says Eastern Standard Time. I thought that
Ah,
was,
yeah. So
yeah. Anyways, um, so kind of what we were talking about. Um,
yeah, no, you're right. Look, they every single one that's lost has gone down some degree. Braun Strowman, he didn't even need the fucking Money in the Bank, to be honest. Like, I get why they gave it to him, just to give him that little bit of an edge, and because his character was over at the time, and it pushed that little bit further and gave you the security of him facing the champion eventually. Um, John Cena, we all know he went through that. They scripted it so that he went through that year of hell or whatever it was, like after the failed cash in, and that his career took a nosedive until he ended up wrestling at WrestleMania against, I think it was Undertaker or something, and he still lost. Um, and yes, you're right, Baron Corbin, he's flailed in the mid card the whole time. They keep trying to push him, but he's not gonna. He's nowhere near. Um, he's nowhere near what he could have been if they kept him as the lone wolf.
yeah.
Like,
Um, like I said, Otis,
yep,
um, Baron Corbin. Um, let's go back. Let's go back further. Mr. Kennedy.
yep,
Um,
Damien Sandow.
Damian Sandow. Okay. John Cena is the exception to the rule because John Cena was already established.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All these other people that won Money in the Bank were not established main eventers, world title competitors.
Oh, except
So
Braun Strowman. Except Braun Strowman, but he was already technically a competitor for the
had
world
he,
title.
well, he was a competitor, or he was, uh, had he actually gotten a world title shot up to that point? Because
I
that was
think
the same year. That was the same year that Braun Strowman won the tag team titles with a fucking 11-year-old
that's
kid at
right.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, he hadn't
So
got the title shot yet, but
Braun
they he was.
was, yeah, Braun was over. Braun was extremely over, but Braun wasn't in the title picture yet.
Mm.
Whereas a bunch of people wanted him to, and it was a money. It was like right there. It
Oh,
was hot.
it was on the money.
Yeah,
Like the money was
and they
right
should
behind
have
him.
done it, and they
Yeah.
they elected not to. So
But I think the biggest downfall on that is the fact that when he did get that push to the world title, no one wanted to see him with that title because he'd ended
it
up
was too
making the
late.
comment. Yeah, it was too late, and made all those comments about the indies and all that sort of stuff, and you'd just come off the Fiend getting squashed, and then you put Braun winning the title. Like, I'm sorry, but yeah, because the Fiend was the most over thing. They squash him to Goldberg, and then bam.
Yes. Indeed.
And,
Um,
and yes, Stephen, if Braun wins the World Cup, we've got Braun versus Gunther. It is going to be hopefully a physical match, and hopefully Gunther teaches him a thing or two about wrestling.
I'm sorry, I don't see that happening at all.
I would have loved to have seen Shinsuke actually get through in that match this week, but I
Yes,
know how to.
that was quite confusing to me because you're planning on Shinsuke fighting one of the biggest legends in all professional wrestling in the world, the
Mhm.
Great Muta, and very excited for it and whatnot. I thought he would. I thought he would, kind of benefit from that. That they would push him just a little bit because of
Mm,
that, and they haven't. So
for
very
sure.
very 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 weird.
It's still funny
Um,
though that the people, the internet fans turn around and like when Muda was on AEW, they're like, who, and then because he's working or a WWE guy's working with him. Oh, we know who this is.
yeah, I've seen that a little bit too. So um, kind of sticking on the WWE train here. Mia Yim returned this past week.
That look good for her, but fucking terrible way about going about it. The From what I've seen from people's videos of being on at the show, the crowd didn't even notice until it was too late.
Oh, look who joined us!
Hello, Mark. How's my boy?
Give me a second.
I can hear you.
All right, what's up, guys? Sorry. Can
All
you
good,
hear
my
me?
dude.
Do we sound
Yep.
good? Let me know.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
sound
you
good, man.
sound great, brother.
How you been, my dude?
All right, good. Dude, how the fuck did this happen? I even po- I even posted this on my video. Like, I literally thought we were going to do 11.
Wait, we were 11 p.m. Eastern time.
Dude, I have no idea how the fuck that happened. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, you're good, brother. Don't be
Don't
sorry.
be sorry, man. It's all good. I jumped in to fill the gap for you.
Well, thanks, man. That's
No
awesome.
worries, bro.
But holy shit, dude, I'm sorry, guys.
Technical
You're
difficulties.
good, bro. Um, so we just got done talking about this Money in the Bank cashing from Austin Theory, man.
Oh,
I didn't want to move off of it because I figured you'd be wanting to get into the thick of it.
man, next time just like mash the phone, be like, dude, where the fuck are you? And I was like, why is Chase hitting me up so much? uh, what do you guys think? What did I miss? Catch me up. I'm so sorry.
Basically, we
I,
think it was one of the stupidest ideas they did,
Yeah,
um, and that cashing in on an open challenge was just ridiculous.
yeah, I think that and I'm right with Raz. We talked about it, and I think this is hands down Triple H's worst decision, and um, I think
The
it
pillow is
shows that
back.
Triple H is. I think it shows that Triple H is human. That
Mm.
he's not in God mode as far as promoting goes. I mean, the Sheamus meme, banger after banger after banger after banger, and
yeah,
like it's cool, like, but this is proof that no matter how you chop it up, like Triple H is human. He's gonna make mistakes. He's gonna, he did learn this business from his father-in-law, the same guy who's been making shitty decisions for the past 10 years. So
10? You're
and
generous. 10.
yeah, I know. And this shows like every decision that Triple H makes is not going to be one we agree with, and there's going to be people that do agree with it. I mean, I've seen on social media all week this week people trying to justify it. Eye of the beholder. If you guys get that reference, there was a very popular wrestling community creator who was like, "Oh, Eye of the Beholder," you know. No, nobody. That'd be like somebody winning the Royal Rumble and going, "I want to go," or "I'm going to use my Royal Rumble win to go for the United States title because
Or
the
the
United
IC
States title
title, yeah.
means a lot." Because the United States title means so much to me. Like, yeah, it can mean a lot to you, but you won Money in the Bank to cash in for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
You won
Well,
the Royal Rumble to go to WrestleMania and main event. Like,
and that's the thing. Royal Rumble was essentially what, excuse me, what Money in the Bank was. But Money in the Bank gave you a full year to get the match.
yeah,
Like, whereas Royal Rumble, it was a guaranteed spot at WrestleMania.
Until that shit happened on Monday, which is, let me agree with you right now, that's the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Um, I didn't even know you could fucking cash in on a belt that's not the championship title. I didn't even know that was a thing. So not only that he
it
became,
it's not that it wasn't a thing, Mark.
yeah,
It's just it's
yeah,
stupid to do it.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
like I said, it's like winning a large soda from McDonald's and then going to McDonald's and being like, "Hey, can I go ahead and get a medium?" Like, yeah, you can get a medium, but you won a large. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? You have a free large and you got a medium? What? That makes no
Dude,
sense.
you're absolutely right. It made absolutely no fucking sense. I thought it was the dumbest decision, as you said, that Triple H has done. The worst thing he's done since he's took over. And yeah, you're right. He's not human. But I mean, everyone's saying that Theory's getting buried, and I'm gonna sit here and agree with him. I don't even like using that term. I hate using that buried term.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you go on, like a 16, 18 match losing streak up until doing the failed cash in on a mid card title?
Yeah,
I think so.
and
Somewhere
there's
around that
it's
time.
weird because like I said, there's been wrestling fans that are like, "Oh, this is the best thing for Theory." Like, no, this
No, it's
isn't.
not. It's
Like,
not.
look at the facts that back it up. Mr. Kennedy, Otis, Baron Corbin, all those names that have had failed cash-ins. Like I said, with the
Same
exception
here,
of
dude.
John Cena, because John Cena was was already an established main eventer. All those guys that lost that opportunity never made it back. Like, you know, they've repackaged Corbin 2 to 3 times now since the Lone Wolf when he lost his cash in. Um, you know,
Well,
I
what
mean,
the latest repackaging is, I think, his fourth one, isn't it? Like,
I don't know, but
Who
I mean,
knows?
like I said,
but who cares
they
at the same time?
I'm
It's
a
like
Bar- I'm a Baron Corbin hater.
fair
I
enough.
don't.
well,
I
you're
don't
not
like.
alone. There's a lot of people that are
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
there's a lot of Austin Theory haters. Like I get it, but the same people that are always like, "Oh, trust the process," like are sitting here and were crying when Austin Theory won it, and are now trying to justify like, "Oh, he can get repackaged." No, like from now on, like he's going to be, no matter what you do, you could cut his hair and change his name and bring him back. And he'll still be the guy who cashed in his money in the bank on the United States Championship and lost?
Yep.
The only thing. All right. So this is just me trying to be positive in some point in a very very shitty situation. Is that I feel Triple H is making an effort to elevate these mid card belts, right? Intercontinental and United States Championship. So the only positive thing that I can think of is maybe like, okay, let's make him cash in on the United States Championship to make it that much more important, right? But to have it fail, it's like you go back and forth. Like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
trying to elevate this United States Championship, so why not have this kid cash in on the U.S. Championship? But you fail, so it's like you're not going for the big belt,
Yeah.
and you fail in going to the mid card. It's like you just go back and forth. It's like it's more than a head scratching move. It's just like a what
Well,
the fuck is going on?
essentially now it basically throws Theory under the bus of he failed at getting a mid card title. He would never have succeeded going for the world title.
Yep.
Right? He would never have won the big one. And okay, we know that that would have been the case anyway because of the fact of who the belt is on at the moment. But it's the same thing. It's like if you fail at the mid card title, your push is now gone. Anytime you're in a main event, anytime that you're trying to go for the biggest title in the company, nobody's going to back you. Nobody's going to care that you're in that match.
Agreed. It's very hard to get behind a guy now. To get, I'm sorry, not a guy. Get behind Theory now with what happened to him over the past few months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
His
for
his
sure.
his downfall is easily one of the most craziest downfalls in WWE history, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So to go up from here, it's going to be very hard to get behind whatever character he decides to be if he continues this Vince McMahon, golden boy child that he was, and if he is getting repackaged and going away for a while, he needs to come back and just be fucking amazing. His promos need to be amazing.
yeah.
Everything about his new repackaging, if there is going to be a repackaging, needs to just be off the wall amazing. Otherwise, this was totally wasted. Hands down, the worst move that Triple H has done.
I think
Nah,
Jake put it.
it's totally wasted in general.
I
Yeah,
think
Like
Jake
I
put it
said,
well as well.
you can repackage the kid, you can do whatever. Like I said, you could cut his hair and completely change his name. No
yep,
matter what you do, he will forever be the guy that not only lost a cash in, but lost a cash in on the United States Championship.
See,
yep.
if he'd cashed in at Halloween Havoc, as Steven said, if he'd cashed in at Halloween Havoc, it would have been on the main title in NXT, and it would have been absolutely perfect because if he won that, it would have given him credibility, and he could then use that to his advantage to move into the next phase of his career, like being the cocky main eventer or the main roster guy who's come across to NXT, taken the title, and then hijacked it back to the main roster.
Yeah,
Yeah, so and like I said, the um, so it makes no sense to me why everybody's like, well, Vince really wanted Hunter to keep the titles on Roman at least until next year. Um, but then Hunter goes and completely like not just gets it out of the way. I mean, like you could have got it out of the way. You could have had him win. You could have had him win the titles, and it be for a short while. You could have had him failed his cash in against Roman.
Yep.
It wouldn't have been stupid. Like Roman is the most dominant thing in in the past 15 years in WWE. So no, it wouldn't have been dumb to have him cash in, try and beat Roman and then lose. Like, yeah, it would have sucked, but I mean, think of all the guys that have lost to Roman over the past 2 years. The Fiend Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, the Demon Finn Balor. Like,
Brock
you're
Lesnar.
not, yeah, Brock Lesnar. Like, you're not going down the ladder by saying, "Oh, I lost to Roman Reigns,
No.
the most dominant champion in the past 30 years in the company." But you do, like, there's no coming back.
No.
Like some people will like him and some people will get over it, and that's fine. But the reality is, no matter how you chop the story up, he's the guy that instead of instead of taking the main event at WrestleMania, he decided to take the main event of Raw. And
Yeah.
it's like, what are you doing? And it's
It,
funny
it,
because you won't hear any WWE stands come on here and be like, oh, well, Triple H is only favoring his guys. We hear about that with other companies. Um,
Yep.
Karrion Cross got brought in, and Karrion Cross is in a higher tier program with Drew McIntyre, and he came out and interrupted Roman Reigns. Um, and
Just to go for
I'll tell
McIntyre.
you what, I'll tell you what, man. I like Karrion Cross, but I'm one of few. There's not very many people that do. But Hunter loves him some Karrion Cross, and what do we see? Hunter brought in Karrion Cross, and Karrion Cross is getting pushes. So are we going to say the same thing about Triple H? Are we going to say, well, he only likes his guys?
I
He's
guess
only
we have
pushing
to.
his
I,
guys.
I guess it's a thing that we have to wait and see because it hasn't even been a full year for Triple H at the helm. And okay, I get it. You're right. He is pushing his guys at the moment, but do we see in a year's time? Do we see his guys being the main event crew? Do we see them still withstanding the test of time? Like, as much as I'm not a massive E guy anymore, I still respect like that the talent has come through there, and I respect that there are people that work their ass off in that company that deserve to be in a position that they're in. Like Seth Rollins, he has been a workhorse for that company for what 10 years plus. 10 years plus. He's been a workhorse for the company. Do I like his character? Not all the time, but he's still been a workhorse and he's still going to be one of the top guys, whether he's a Triple H guy or he's a Vince guy. Doesn't matter.
Of course.
I mean, who brought in Austin Theory? Essentially, was I mean,
Vince.
was it Vince? No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about like when he was in NXT. Was
Uh,
wasn't at that
oh,
point Triple H bringing
Yeah,
in
it was
all the
it was
NXT
it was
talent?
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean,
He was
Austin Theory is essentially a Triple H guy if you really want to go to it. I mean, that's just probably just the guy that Vince McMahon fell
but
in love
let
with.
so but okay, and you're 100% right. But let's bring up this comment by Jake. And I don't agree with this. I think this is goofy, but everybody's entitled to their opinions. He says Austin Theory needs to go down to NXT for at least a year or so. He was called up way too soon to the main roster and was put with Vince and handed the Money in the Bank contract, and it has been an abject failure. Okay, that's fine.
Look,
Failed to
I think
cash in, send him back to NXT. You not only failed his cash in, you embarrassed him. Nobody's going to take him seriously now. Like I
I mean
said,
unless you play
Is
the
he going to be
role.
taken serious right now on the main roster after this?
I mean, unless you play the role of like you send him back to NXT, he's the embarrassed guy. Everybody calls him out and saying you failed your cash in, and play that, rub it in that he failed, and then eventually it builds him up to the underdog sort of situation, like I'll prove everyone wrong that I can win the big one, sort of thing.
I mean, at that point, you're talking face turn. I think he needs to disappear for a little bit. I
Yeah,
mean, I think you write him off TV. I don't totally disagree with the NXT send down because at this point, you keep him on the main roster where he's just going to job out to everybody else.
for
So at
sure.
least in NXT, he might have a chance at some type of redemption. Keeping him on the main roster now after that cash in, after going on this little epic losing streak that he's on, he's
well,
done.
it looks like it's going to be. The rumor is that it's going to be him and Cena at WrestleMania. So if he beats Cena at WrestleMania, does he get credibility back?
No,
No, because you expect him to beat Cena.
yeah, you don't. If it had been earlier in the year, maybe. If we'd done this earlier in the year and he'd had time now to build up to beating Cena as the main guy, as the guy who to get himself back over, the underdog story of like John Cena was the face of this company for so long. I'm now going to make my way and be that face. Might have worked, but not. This is too. too soon to do it. Like there's too little time frame to do it in.
I don't know.
Yep.
Like I said, I don't hate the NXT call, the send down. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think write him off. Him beating John Cena does nothing for me. You have to have him beat John Cena. John Cena is not even a part timer at this point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
if he loses to John Cena at WrestleMania, then that's just the ultimate burial. You might as well release him at that point because you just don't want to do anything with him. So you expect him to go around Cena, and it does nothing for him. It really doesn't.
That's true.
Agreed.
I think
Agreed.
I think at this point Theory just needs to go away for a little bit, write him off, give him an on screen injury, come back at NXT and see what you can do.
Yeah.
Go face, whatever.
So moving on, and we kind of got into this right when you got in,
Okay.
Mark,
Sorry again.
about
Don't be
no,
sorry.
no, don't be. So
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim shows up
Yeah.
as the female backup to Rhea Ripley for the OC, and um, Mia Yim's brought back by Triple H. Kind of what do we think about this? Um,
Like I said already, I've seen videos of people who were live at the show, and the reaction wasn't there because people were too focused on outside the ring, and then she's in the ring. Like she's already in the ring, and everybody's focused outside the ring with what's going on outside the ring, and it's like, oh shit, Mia's back. Like you didn't get the pomp and circumstance of the theme playing, or um, you know, not to throw A and W under the bus here. The lights going out and then coming back on, and she's in the ring, sort of thing.
yeah,
I mean, I might be in the minority at this point, but I think a lot of people, I mean, like myself, I don't dislike Mia Yim, but I'm not a huge fan of Mia Yim either. So
I think she,
maybe maybe WWE bringing her back, which was I think it's a decent move. I mean, who knows what happens after this feud? I mean, but bringing her back this way might have protected her because what if she didn't get that pop that you really wanted to see?
I see. Fair call on that one. Like I can
You
give
know?
you that. And look, I think she was the better choice out of the people out of the choice of wrestlers that people were speculating with. A lot of people speculating it was going to be Charlotte. Like I think Mia Yim was actually the better choice because why the hell would Charlotte come back and be a part of AJ's group?
Well, yeah, I mean it's that, and of course, I mean it's fresh when it's Mia Yim. Seeing Charlotte, I mean, being on main event, Charlotte's cool and everything, and once again, I'm in the minority of that too. I could care less for Charlotte either. I think she's great, but it's just like we've been given Charlotte uh, on programming for years and years and years. Title pick right after title run. Seeing Mia Yim is just a fresh face. So
Everybody knows my opinion on
you
Charlotte,
know,
and so I'm trying to play nice on this one today.
oh okay. I mean, I don't dislike Charlotte either, but it's just like when you're giving me championship run after championship run with Charlotte, it's like, it's like, all right now, you know what I mean?
something different.
Yeah.
Look, if I could
So,
keep Charlotte away from TV for at least 3 years, I
oh
would.
wow, oh wow, okay then. Like I said, I don't hate Charlotte. I don't hate Mia Yim either. I don't.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan of Mia Yim as well. I mean, I did watch her on Impact. I thought she had some decent matches on Impact, but I mean, I don't think she would have got the pop that you wanted. That you're
Oh, no way.
speaking right now. You
Yeah,
know what
there's
I
no
mean?
way she was going to get the huge, like,
Same
deafening
thing
pop.
with same thing with Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan's back as well, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think
And she
she.
didn't get a pop either.
Yeah,
She got a Michael Cole going, that's Sarah Logan. Literally, that's what he said.
Yeah. So and Sarah Logan and Mia Yim all Triple H handles at NXT, and again, kind of bringing it back, like like, are these the people that are these the people that the fans really want to see, or are these
No,
the people that Hunter wants the fans to see?
no, the people want to see, or the fans want to see, and they've even tried to articulate this through the whole Wyatt Six thing, is they wanted Malachi or Alistair Black, they wanted Miro, they wanted all that back in WWE. Alistair Black has, or Malachi has his contract through AEW and wasn't going anywhere. He was just taking time off.
Put toxic. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, as far as your point there, Chase, about are these Triple H's guys? Is this who the fans want to see, or is this what Triple H wants to see? Regardless, as a fan, I'm not sitting here that I don't want to see them, but I do want to see fresh faces, and that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see growth. I want to see fresh faces. I want to see people who are going to challenge the staleness of WWE that's had this stink on it for the past 10 to 15 years.
yeah, and I don't think it's stale anymore. I'm actually really
Yeah,
enjoying WWE programming a lot more
I,
than I did a few months ago. So, I
I'm
mean,
not going to lie. I had before Triple H took over, the only reason I really watched WWE was for Bray Wyatt as the Fiend. After he was let go, I stopped watching. I watched WrestleMania to see Cody's return, and I put on Raw because my kid loves Cody. But I fell asleep through from the first 15 minutes into the show on when I was watching Raw. But since Triple H has taken over, I've given it a chance. Yes, there's still some stale parts,
mm-hmm,
but the product itself has improved. Yes,
mm-hmm,
we've seen highlights on the US title, the Intercontinental title. We've seen better matches. We've seen longer matches.
mm-hmm.
Um, and we've seen more focus on the wrestling side of things, which is fantastic. Um, was it going to be an ultimate, like, there's a change in the air straight away? Like, was he going to tear down Vince's thing and then start his own thing? No, hell no. There was no way that would have ever happened, because essentially what he would have had to do was strip every single person of their belts, completely cleaned the rosters between the two shows, and gone, we're basically starting a brand new wrestling company. Yes, it's WWE, but we're starting brand new, and you have to work for what you get.
I mean, Triple H is doing, to your point, like you said, there's still a few bones. Like, I still think Raw's way too long. Certain things like that. But Triple H is definitely doing things that's checking off my personal list. I mean, we're getting fresh people, we're getting fresh matchups, better feuds. They're getting more highlight on the mid card titles, such as the Intercontinental. Like this whole what's this tournament called?
The World Cup, the
Yeah, the World
SmackDown
Cup.
World Cup.
Yeah, the SmackDown World Cup tournament that determines number one contender for the IC Championship. That's awesome. He's doing certain things that's checking off my box. That's giving more importance to the mid card belts, which is why I don't want these championships to not be unified anymore. Just because it gives more towards these belts, and him changing up the premium live events, taking away potentially TLC, Hell in a Cell, all these matches. As growing up, when we were all watching wrestling growing up, were pretty much matches that would end feuds and were like epic
For
matchups,
sure.
not full on pay-per-views. You know what I mean? So I like the direction that the things are going in Triple
And
H.
and
You know.
that's the thing. You need those matches to be the blow off matches. You need Elimination Chamber to be the blow off of the champions held the belt too long. You need the Hell in the Cell to be that blood feud, and the the everybody is at that point of a cage hasn't held them, a like they haven't been able to resolve the issue. Chuck them inside the cell, kill each other inside the cell, And yeah,
No, I agree, bud.
like, and ABJ's here, but apparently he's not here.
I've been here the entire time. This guy needs to learn how to show up on time. I'm sorry again, Chase.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Hey, let's talk a little NXT. Ava Rain aligned with Schism.
Oh, you're reading my thing. Oh, you're so nice. Ava Rain. What do you guys think about? You guys watch NXT? I know a lot of people don't. I know Chase, you said you'd watch it intermittently. Did you watch it this week?
I did. I
You
did.
did. What'd you think of the
I
show?
Yep. I enjoyed it, man. I
Did
enjoyed
I
it.
I
okay.
usually miss it because I'm usually at work, so I can't really comment on her being a part of Schism. I can't really comment on anything NXT to be honest.
No, it's
Yeah,
okay, man.
but I
I
think
actually
it's a
made it a
good.
point to watch as much wrestling as I could this week. I was watching it on breaks and everything, trying to see what I could get. But as far as Ava Rain, I mean, have you guys seen how this outrage, as far as all that she wasn't thrusted into the bloodline? I think what she's doing
I
is good. I think it's kind of weird that she's with Schism, but yet I'm intrigued by it, right? Because she's already in a group. Usually, when you're in a group, you're getting a bigger push, you're getting more TV time, getting more time to hone your skills, stuff like that. We haven't really seen her talk much yet, though. So I would like to see that. But I mean, I kind of like it. I'm really glad that they didn't just push her up because of who she is and who her bloodline is, so to speak. So I like it. I'm really interested to see where they go. And Schism is actually my favorite part of NXT right now. They're the most intriguing story to me because it's a lot of it's a Bray Wyatt esque type thing for me.
Yeah, ABJ. If you can hear, man, dude, you're black. Like you're there's no camera, there's no audio, no nothing, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing from you, ABJ.
Yeah, tech support over here.
Tech support Tony failing at tech support.
Yeah. To
How
be
you
fair,
been anyway, Mark?
I'm all right, man. You know, working this new schedule, so
Yeah.
it's great to be back and talking to you guys, though. You know, I actually really missed it,
How's the wedding planning going?
dude. 20 days, 20 days,
Awesome,
bro.
man.
It's nuts. It's very stressful right now,
Oh, it
but
would be, man. It would
yeah,
be.
but it's really cool. Thanks for asking. How's everything with you?
I've been back in Australia for about a week now. I was over in Canada for a bit. Um, yeah, had a few family issues at home as well, but not going to go into that
All
right
right,
now.
no, that's all good.
Uh, but yeah, things have been going okay. As I said, was in Canada, caught up with some friends over there, um, caught up on the show. Um, yeah, just life in general, pretty much.
That's cool, man. Were you moving to Canada or something like that?
I will be,
Okay,
but yeah, I was over visiting some friends in Toronto, and I was there for Halloween and stuff as well. So I
that's
went
cool.
as I went as one of the Dark Order members for Halloween. So
Nice. That's pretty cool.
yeah,
I didn't get to do anything fun for Halloween this year.
oh
Yeah, it sucks. It is what it is. All right, we're still trying to get ABJ up in here, but tech support Tony is not really good at tech support right now. So,
Um,
opinion, opinion.
what's up?
Bron Breaker. Do you think it was too early?
No, but I think he's getting stale.
Chase?
I, I don't think he's getting stale, but I just don't think that even with like the updated version of NXT, I still didn't think Braun Breaker fit in there. Braun now, unlike there's obviously, and we'll kind of get into that, or I mean, I guess we kind of touched on it, but there was a real popular video going around on social media where a girl was talking about why would you put The Rock's daughter on NXT, and we kind of talked about it like that. I don't have a problem with it.
I think it was a better move putting her on NXT than chucking her straight into the bloodline.
She was not
Absolutely.
ready for. She's not nowhere near ready being on
Yeah.
the main show. For her being on the bloodline would be a stupid move. It's
Yeah.
a move that makes sense theoretically, but she's not ready. So
Yeah. So here was my thing. My thing was like, okay. However, with Braun Breaker, I wouldn't have kept him on NXT as long as they have.
yeah,
Um,
I think he's more of a main. I don't think he's made for NXT as to your point either. I think he's more of a main roster guy. And honestly, he's a Vince McMahon dude if I ever seen one. I mean, that's the Vince McMahon, you know, template right there. You know what I mean? So
well,
I think he needs to be on there.
look who his dad and his uncle are.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course, of
Yeah.
course. So I think he belongs in the main event. I personally, I don't know if you've been following Chase, but I personally wanted JD McDonough to take the belt off of him. I fucking love JD McDonough, dude.
Yeah,
That
but
guy can go.
that's not going to happen.
Oh, of
Um,
course, definitely not going to happen.
that's not
100%.
that's Finn's cousin.
McDonough?
Yeah,
No
Jordan
idea.
Jordan Devitt.
Jordan Devitt, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Prince
Yeah,
Devitt. Yeah, it
Finn's
makes sense.
cousin.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I see it. But yeah, dude, JD McDonough can go. That's probably one of my favorites on there too.
yeah. Um, what else do we got here for
So
NXT?
while we're talking on Braun Breaker, so we got the big matchup with Braun Breaker and Wagner coming up. There he is.
There's
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I had
ABT.
no idea. Dude, everything was all like what I'm looking at right now is exactly what my screen was showing. I have no idea what happened.
I know. I saw the picture you sent in the Discord.
Yeah, it was weird. Sorry, I am late, everyone. Our show went a little long as our season finale. I'm bummed. It won't happen again. I swear to God.
You're
Yeah,
fine.
man.
You're fine.
You need to get here on time like the rest of us.
I told you there was a possibility I could be late.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
guy's
no,
late.
You're
no
just
worries.
lucky I can fill in, ABJ.
You're the fucking man, Raz. You do it all. I love you.
This guy,
Love you too, my dude.
this guy coming late. You used to be more like Mark and be here on time.
Listen. When you're the goat of commentary, like Jericho's the goat of wrestling, you just do what the fuck you want. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Did you say? I will never fuck with you again.
I know my way to a man's heart.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, babe.
Oh, he dumped on his face.
Sorry. So sorry.
That's so creepy.
So sorry.
That is so
pillow.
creepy.
Oh man,
Pillow.
Surprised there's not a hole in it yet.
it's on the back.
Right around his mouth. Well, ABJ, you got in just in time. We were talking about NXT right now and the landscape of that.
Well, the Ava Ray thing, I think people saying that she'd be in the bloodline is insane to me.
It's stupid.
And also, like, sure, and everyone's like, well, I need to see her wrestle to prove anything. Oh, but we can watch Bray Wyatt cut stupid promos for 6 months. What are we talking about? Anyway,
We'll get
I
to
think
him
she's
after.
I think
We'll
she's
get to
fine.
him after.
Let her do her thing. She does not want to be a bloodline. She's made it very clear she wants nothing. She wants to forge her own path. Let her do it. Give her time.
I
For
agree.
sure.
I agree. I mean,
And I'm going to be honest. The whole NXT downgrade for Austin Theory is crazy to me as well. I was listening on the car ride over.
you think it's crazy?
Yeah, man. Listen. It all comes down to your booking. I get that, but to say that he's not talented and shouldn't be on the main roster is insane. Absolutely
No.
insane.
Definitely didn't say that.
You know what I think? You know what I think
Yeah.
they're doing? I think there's two things they're doing here. I think one is they realize, hey, listen, you're not our guy, and two, I think they're trying really hard to make him the next Cena. And instead of saying like, well, Vince was going to push him this way, I think Tripp's angle is going to be like, yo, man, we might fire you. Like, you're on the cusp of not being in this company anymore. And what did John Cena do when he was on the cusp of being fired? He walked out He challenged Kurt Angle. He won a match, and it skyrocketed his career. What better way for Austin Theory to do that? Where maybe they do a whole storyline leading up to like, we might not want you on this company anymore. Like, you're kind of pointless. Mess of WrestleMania, John Cena opens a challenge. Austin Theory walks out with a new character, new baby face, new attitude, and beats John Cena, and he goes on a trendward up.
The smiling aggression.
People like nostalgia. That's the best way I would say to do it.
I mean, hope so, but
I started to make the show go backwards. Let's move the other way, but that's just kind of my take.
It's not going backwards. You're good. I mean, I like to hear what you have to say. I mean, like you heard me earlier. I don't hate the idea of going back to NXT, but at this point,
I just think people saying that he should go backwards because he's not good is insane.
No, that is insane. I agree 100%.
He's the future of the company.
Yeah.
In person too. Oh my god, that dude is huge. Unfortunately, I walked out of that main event on Raw even before Austin Theory showed up. But as soon as I said Bobby Lashley, I elbowed my buddy. I said, "Let's get the fuck out of here," and we walked out.
Damn.
Beat traffic.
And
so
we were apologizing for swearing.
Sorry, so we were talking about NXT, and so what are your thoughts on Braun Breaker? I think the question was, should he remain on NXT, or has he been there just too long? Has he?
No, I think with the landscape of the main roster, I think he's fine on NXT a little longer. I think he needs to be there to usher in that next generation of NXT. Because NXT is going through a platform, and I think for him to say, "Well, you've done it all in NXT, time to move you up," is too. That's like being the best at Little League right now in NXT, and I hate to say it like that, but NXT right now on that whole 2.0 run has not been taken seriously, and for him to move up, he wouldn't be taken seriously. I think NXT needs to rebrand itself, needs to become something powerful, and I think he needs to be the face of that version of NXT before he moves up to the main roster. With Cody there, with KO, with the Bloodline, and everything else that's going on, we don't need to see him until maybe mid next year, if not late next year. I think he's doing everything he can do in NXT right now. Maybe drop the title and have him chase, but I think he needs to stay there a little bit. I mean, there's been guys we talked about at NXT who had 2 or 3 runs with the world title before they left. I think getting the world title and then the only way out is losing it and then moving up. Ideology of NXT is silly because there's been plenty of people who are on the main roster now who didn't do that.
I agree. Definitely agree on that one. So who wins between him and Von Wagner?
I think he wins.
Do you like Von Wagner?
I mean, from what his look, just like if you showed me a photo of him, I'd be like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. Right? Same.
He looks like a beefed up Paul Burchill. If y'all remember Paul Burchill,
he looks like a beefed up version of the Geico commercial guy. Like it's so easy.
You talking about the caveman?
Yeah,
that's the caveman dude.
This dude looks like he's like the third evolution.
Steve, put that comment up, Chase.
Like right before on the evolutionary chart where they go from their knuckles to standing somewhat up. That's him. He's like the missing link.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they've been trying to push this guy as just like the NXT unbeatable force type guy, you know. And it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, but
the manager and
every company tries that unbeatable guy, and
they're all the same. That's my thing. They're all the same.
They're all the bloody same. They all look the same. They all look the same.
No one does anything to try to separate themselves from the others when they're all doing the same type of gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chase is just relaxing now.
Yeah.
He's like the real host of the show is here, so I can just relax.
Wow.
What was that?
That's a lot of love coming from you. I appreciate it.
Holy shit.
One's like, fuck you, he's late, fuck that guy. And then you're like, the other guy's just like, all right.
He was talking shit. I saw him.
He wasn't.
Yeah. Raz was like, "Oh, you didn't see that Mark was in the chat?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, Mark's in the fucking chat." That guy.
Well, Mark kept asking for the link. I was like, "Motherfucker, I gave it to you 3 times. Go get it."
Because I fucking noticed at the top corner. I was like, "Oh, it's there."
Yeah.
In all fairness,
you
when he
want me
sent
to?
me,
You want me to go fucking hook up your microphone and your camera too, motherfucker? Like,
in all
fair,
fairness,
to be fair, I thought you were gonna put it in the regular chat, so I'm there looking. I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, is
And
he
in
no, I'm
all
not
really
gonna
that
give
mad
it.
at
No,
me?
I'm not gonna put it in the regular chat.
I
I have
don't
to
know,
see these.
fucking know.
I have
I'm
to see
adding-
these
I'm-
ugly motherfuckers. I got to see
I'm,
these ugly motherfuckers on Wednesday night after Dynamite. You think I want to see them again tonight?
Oh,
No, I'm
shit.
good.
I'm adding 2 things to my binder.
Dalton Castle.
Nice.
also, by the way, when he sent me the link,
Was that
it
Serpent?
failed
Yeah,
the
okay.
first
Yeah,
2
Serpentico.
times anyway.
Serpentico?
So, guys,
I think it's
when
because
Joe
I sent it
sent
to
me
you
the
on
link-
Instagram.
Yeah, he sent me the link on Instagram. It failed the first 2 times anyway. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if
Failed me
Chase
too.
just,
I'm sitting here with my camera on and no one can see me.
if Chase just texted people like a normal person, this wouldn't have happened. So I blame Chase.
Who texts? I haven't used texting in forever. Last
Clearly.
person I texted was my fucking attorney.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Everybody uses Messenger, don't they?
No,
Oh.
not at all.
Please.
Anyway, so talking about since you guys see these fuckers on Dynamite, I wasn't there unfortunately. So what's your favorite part of Dynamite that I didn't get to watch the show last week?
I only seen the second half, and the second half of the show was fine, but I don't think it was anything that like blew me away. That's
Yeah,
what we kind
no,
of talked
um,
about on Dynamite.
The best part about Dynamite was the Soraya and Britt segment.
Yeah. I did go back and
Yeah.
watch that promo, and I would agree. I think that was definitely the
that
highlight of the
promo
show.
from Soraya was fucking
I thought
amazing.
it was a great face to face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Great face to
Obvi-
face.
Although I do have to say the bit where Britt went to attack her looked very, very staged. You could see it looked very, very staged.
I
Like
mean,
she was just waiting for it.
Well, I was gonna say something else in the show, but like, are we going down order of that list, or is that just kind of like the highlights? I don't know how
We're
you guys
just
been
doing
doing it.
random.
no, you
Just
just do that
highlights.
randomly. Whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say.
Because
Yeah,
we might skip the Impact thing altogether.
Am I the only
I'm
one that
just
watched
kidding.
Impact?
No. I
Okay.
watch Impact too.
I do have one thing to say about Impact. Just for me in general, not really so much about the show or anything that happened. Just a kind of an Impact take for me. But I think Joe turning was kind of a cool shock. I think
Oh,
Joe. I
Joe
think
turn,
Joe.
yeah.
I think Joe should have turned after he possibly lost the title to Brian Cage a couple weeks ago, though. I think
Joe.
Joe. I think Joe should have lost the title, and I think then this rivalry would have made a little more sense. But now you have 2 titles fighting each other. That was the biggest take I had away. I think there's 150 titles between ROH and AEW now on TV, and I don't think you need 2 champions fight each other.
I think we
So-
might be getting a unification though of those 2 belts and essentially retiring the TNT belt. Considering the only shows that are on TNT are Rampage and the Battle of the Belts specials.
That's true. It's very possible.
Interesting.
Like
So
it's probably
do we not think that we're getting a Ring of Honor show? Like,
Yeah,
are
I
we
think that's
still
coming.
thinking
I
it's
think that'll
coming?
be announced at the pay-per-view in December.
I think what we discussed on the other night about the Bucks and
Oh.
Ring of Honor,
Wow.
What do you mean?
about the them annihilating AEW. Like the promo, all these videos have been of the Bucks and before they started AEW, and then how their logo was being destroyed and stuff like that. Are the Bucks and Kenny going over to ROH?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking a little more about that. Like that was kind of my fantasy booking, but I just think they're kind of saying like there is no AEW without us type deal. I
Yeah.
think they're going to come in and be heels and just kind of be like, this company's been dog shit without us. We're here to save it again. And people be like, we've been fine without you. And I think they just intensify their heel because I think them saying, well, we're not going to work for AEW because you guys suck and we don't like it being here. And then for them to go to ROH, there's really no place. There's nothing storyline in place that kind of says that like, they are 2 different companies, and if they are, everyone kind of knows, smart fans and people who watch, that like they're owned by the same guy. So it doesn't really make sense storyline for them to be like well, we're going ROH because FAEW, but you're still kind of owned by the same company. So
Yeah.
I think maybe they just go by the whole deleting the footage. Is just like your company's been nothing without us. You try to delete us, you try to get rid of us, but you need us. Your company's failing.
Yeah. What do you think, Chase?
I agree. I mean, I'm just not invested in the story. I don't really care about it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I could
AEW's
care
in a little
less.
bit of a slump, I think, personally.
I agree.
Well,
I agree, man.
The one
so
thing I found with
I will
AEW,
say that I will say this past summer that they've been on a little bit of a slump, but I've actually enjoyed AEW more with Kenny and the Bucks not fucking there. At least the Bucks.
Most shows that they put on, I really do enjoy their shows. I'm not sitting here and saying, "Wow, this fucking show is crap." I never say that.
Yeah.
But the quality that we're getting lately, as opposed to what they've been the first 2 years that they were on, it's just not there.
this is one thing I've noticed about AEW is that the quality of the TV show can be average, but the minute it comes to a pay-per-view, they generally knock that shit out of the park. Like, they give us the best quality matches and usually send us home very, very happy.
They treat every pay-per-view like it's a big deal instead of WWE, where it's like, well, we're only going to make it treat like it's a big deal 4 times a year, and the other ones don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's also the bonus of having less pay-per-views than one every single month. So,
Yep.
That didn't.
So,
by the way, Chase, that didn't do anything.
yeah, we can
You
still hear you coughing every
muted
time.
your mic, but your mic's not even coming out of that. I didn't want to say anything because text port. It's definitely not. You muted, and we still heard you talk. We heard you cough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Every time you've coughed, you've muted your mic, and I've still heard it every single time.
And no one here told you until Text Support Tony just called it out.
Yeah, nice. I appreciate that.
To be fair, I never know where the mic's coming from. So how do I sound today, Tony?
This guy doesn't even buy a mic. What's that?
Do I sound good? Do I sound good today?
Tap your thing. Yep, that's coming from there. You're good. Ooh, shit. Nailed it. Look at this guy. First show back, nailed his mic setup.
Yeah. I got a few surprises for you next show.
Ooh. Well, he should have had his mic. He should have had his mic ready. I mean, motherfucker was 30 minutes late.
Mike.
First of all,
was it 30 or was it 45 or something?
Oh, me?
It was 43. Me.
Oh, you were 43 minutes late.
Yeah.
Bro,
yes.
This whole time you're talking shit and you were late.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was 11. I thought it was at a fucking 11.
11.
It is at 11 Eastern Standard Time.
You fuckers! I even posted a video saying 11 Central, and none of you fuckers said anything. You all liked it.
Well, because I thought you reposted my video, which my video said 11 EST, Eastern Standard Time.
I thought you meant 11 EST.
Listen,
of
Mark,
the live stream world. The best.
Mark, I'm gonna be honest.
You know what I mean?
Since last night, I am now an elite wrestle talker. Now, I've made friends with the top echelons, so I don't know you anymore. I don't know who you are anymore. You're not at my lunch table.
You must have bought a $70 merch.
No. It wasn't.
No. I'm on.
It wasn't that upper echelon. It wasn't that upper echelon.
The level I'm on is like the OG level, like the OG wrestle talk level.
I was listening yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know you guys outside this show. Once I'm with
you know what, Chase? You know that's true. Because I said hi, and guess who didn't acknowledge me? And he always talks shit about not acknowledging anybody.
No, I did say what's up. I did say hi to you.
Yeah,
I did say hi to you.
But Mr. Helping lives. I say what's up, but they just skipped right over my comment. Guess who did that yesterday?
I'm too popular for you, is what it comes down to now. Is
I was high as balls last night on that live.
You gotta remember.
I was tired. I did a show that was 48 matches too long yesterday. I was exhausted.
I went to probably the worst independent professional wrestling event I've ever been to. It was bad.
This
It
one
was
wasn't bad.
really
It was
bad.
just really long, and
See,
it was a lot of
No, this
multi-man
was
matches.
the
Imagine
one.
like
The one I went to, and Scott, I apologize because I didn't want to say
Okay.
anything because we were live earlier, but yeah, it was absolute fucking dog water.
aren't we still live?
I would have rather have stayed home and
Yes.
masturbated with sandpaper than to go watch that
How
fucking
does
shit
this always
show.
happen?
His wife probably stopped and looked into the room and been like, "The fuck are you watching?"
There's like 4 dudes over there. What the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah.
Fucking
holy
hell.
shit. So back to the show. Hey, so one thing I did want to talk. I know you guys talked. I don't want to talk too much about Dynamite because I know you guys kicked me off that show. But
Fucking salty.
Chase and ABJ are upper echelon elite wrestle talkers, and you need to just get on our level.
yeah,
And don't
clearly.
forget,
I mean,
ABJ is also on the clean talk side of things as well.
you guys
Yeah.
even got,
Yeah. Clean
you
talk.
guys,
That was a thing.
you guys even got Dynamite post show graphics and everything. Me and Chase did that shit for 4 months, never got dick.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You need
Anyway,
an artist to make a cartoon of you, and stop using the one that's drawn by Marvel.
but that one's the best one.
It's not you though.
Just put my face on it.
I think
Hey,
fuck
man.
no one has drawn me yet.
But anyway, so this championship eliminator tournament. Who do you want to see win and why?
It's what is it for the world title?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Winner becomes. It doesn't matter. You're right. But winner gets number one contender, right? So would essentially face MJF. So would be MJF one of the first contenders, right?
We talked about since we're there at Dynamite, so if ABJ and I talked, and I posted a TikTok about it.
Oh, look at him!
Is there a possibility of MJF swerving us, and he is still with the firm? And if that's not the case, because I think it sounds pretty likely, but if that's not the case, I wouldn't mind seeing Ethan Page win this championship eliminator tournament and us getting the firm versus MJF and
Ethan Page winning
versus...
was just for them to say, okay, we have someone who is higher up in the card that's going to lose to somebody. That doesn't mean anything. Ethan Page is a cool win for like the Mark fans because we all like him, but he's not going to go further. He's like a semifinalist loss that they can afford to do it. The only reason I said that the whole thing with the firm and all that is their booking has kind of been atrocious at AEW lately. And I can definitely see them going like, well, MJF left a firm and then they beat him up, but it was all fake because he's still there. Like how they did the Jungle Boy, like Luchasaurus, like Luchasaurus hates him, but then he's cool again. Like it just that whole thing going back and forth. And they did it with somebody else the same week where it's like, we're cool, but we're not cool. I don't know. I think some of their booking is kind of silly, but I can definitely see them being like, "Oh, he's still cool with the firm, and William Regal's on his side." Like, it looks, if it looks predictable, I don't put it past AEW to do it.
I could see it happening, and personally, I don't like face MJF, and I feel like we're getting a lot of face MJF lately.
And it seems MJF is really good at being a heel. I think he's really good at playing any character he wants to. That's why I just don't believe the face thing, because he's not doing a very good job of playing a baby face, in my opinion.
I think if we get Tweener,
he seems very fake.
If we get the
and
Tweener,
that's what makes me think that they could,
I think if we get the Tweener MJF, it might work, but as a full face MJF, it's not going to work. MJF works as your heel or your tweener. Like, he's going to pop the crowd no matter what. Like, people are going to pop for him no matter what, because he's built himself up in the eyes of the fans. He's built himself up. He's built himself from being Cody's right-hand man to being the mega heel of the company. And to push it, and people were going to pop when he returned, whether Tony liked it or not.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting with MJF with a title, and hopefully they keep the Bucks and the Elite doing the trios thing, so it keeps Kenny away from the world title. Because if they throw Kenny in there, then you're going to have to make the fans. It's kind of almost like putting FTR versus the Acclaimed. Everyone loves the Acclaimed until they're going to face FTR. Then everyone's going to remember, oh, we like the actual best tag team in the world. And I think that's what's going to happen with MJF and Kenny, where I think people would be like, we like MJF, but Kenny is, he's been the ace. He's Kenny everywhere he goes. So it's going to be like, you need to keep people away. So maybe like they say in the chat there, Ricky Starks, or maybe you start pushing some people who maybe haven't been really considered as top guys. But I can see MJF is going to hold a title for a very long time.
I think you push people like Ricky Starks, Brian Cage. You get what's his name, Ethan Page. You get you bring back Miro. You push him in there as well.
Miro's I think a guy that I think if he went and beat, if he went against MJF, people would be kind of like, oh, we like MJF, but Miro should be winning this match. But if he goes against everybody else you said on that list, or they even said Hobbs in the chat, I think they're all people that would be like, okay, that's cool. We get to see them in a title picture, but we all know at the end of the day it's going to be MJF.
But I think we also build up Malachi Black as well. Like put Malachi Black into the title picture.
Yeah, I can see Malachi becoming more of a, like, I think they would take them more seriously in the trios division. But we'll see.
I mean, I'd love to see Malachi.
They need to be in that trios division, man, because that shit's a joke now.
Hell, yeah. I'd love to see
Penta just like Chase predicted, man. It's like you got to do something. And you can't, and your something for the trios cannot be Kenny and the Bucks are back. So that's our something.
I've seen a trios title yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah. Dalton Castle had his trios title with him.
Oh, the ROH ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I forgot that they have those belts.
Mm-hmm.
They've got those trio titles.
You forget a lot of things out there, but it's just like you can't have the Bucks come and be your trio savior. You got to build this fucking division, like I've been saying, but they don't even have unless the trios championship is on the line, they do not have trios matches at all.
Yeah,
like you have to have two non-title holder teams. So you could solidify, there's a division to be had. Here's this team. They're duking it out, jockeying for position in this division, and that's not happening.
Yeah.
They can't just throw it together the WWE style.
Yeah. I mean, that's
throw your tag teams together and then see how it goes from there.
All right. Well, since we already talk about this show so much, let's just move on.
Yep.
Yeah. Next is to your favorite. Next is to your favorite.
I just want to say one thing about Impact. If we don't want to dive into it, we don't have to. I completely understand. But I think Impact is going to come up to a point where I think if you're an Impact person or if you're not an Impact person, now might be a time to jump in. And the reason I say that is because I think Impact's at a point now where I think they're going to be doing a lot of moving and shaking. I think there's going to be a lot of shuffling coming soon because a lot of people's contracts are up. And I think a lot of people just left. And I think right now Impact seems to be at a point where I think they're gonna push the young talent. I think the younger talent is gonna be utilized here. You have Masha, who just attacked Jordan Grace again, and I think if they're doing it again, it's probably they're like, you know what? I think we put the belt on Masha this time.
Yeah.
I have, which would be dope because I consider Masha a friend, and it'd be cool to have a friend of mine as a world champion. And then I think the tag team division has a little fun movement going on right now. Where you have a tag team that I think's gaining some speed with the new members of the Bullet Club in Impact with Chris Bay and Ace Austin, and I think you'll see them in the tag team division doing some cool things. So I think right now. And I can almost guarantee you're going to see Nick Aldis go to Impact. So I think right now you're going to see a shifting of power in NXT and Impact, where you're going to see new people maybe come in, some old people leaving, and then the young talent getting pushed up.
So if Aldis comes back, does he come back as what was his name?
Magnus.
Magnus.
Probably,
no. Yeah, Magnus.
I don't think he comes back as Magnus.
I bought my first ever Bullet Club T-shirt tonight.
I don't think
Oh,
Nice.
your boy Ace Austin, huh?
I don't think Aldous will come back as Magnus. I think he would come back as Aldous.
Yeah, he
if
probably owns
does.
the rights to all this. Yeah.
And look, to be honest, better fit for Impact than trying to get him into AEW, ROH, whatever the hell you want to call it.
He would be lost in the shuffle there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Impact needs him. To your point, there's a lot of people coming off a contract. You are going to push the young people. I think that would just be good. I mean, he'll definitely get a good pop there. That's where he was, 2000s.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his
I
wife
think
is
The
there.
only other place I could see him going and being relevant, and maybe it would be a good, like people would probably look at it as a bad thing, but I think it'd be good for the company and possibly him. Is if he did go to WB, I think he'd be a good person to kind of show that, like, hey, NXT isn't just for people under 30, and you know what I mean. If he went to him, he kind of like was that first firing shot of like, oh, everything we know about NXT is different. You know what I mean? If he went to NXT and kind of did what like an EC3 did at first, where he was huge in NXT in somewhere else, and then went to Impact and start doing some cool stuff, or not Impact, NXT.
I
So
think
there
if
are-
Aldous did turn up in AEW, though, it would only be for a really short period of time.
Yeah, he would show up for Dark, or he'd be in some stupid click, and then he'd be gone.
The only way he would have made the impact in showing up at AEW would have been if he was still carrying the 10 pounds of gold.
Yeah. Oh, and how about that fucking stupidness? Is that on the list?
No, it's
you
not.
Can add
No,
it.
it's
You
not.
can
Oh
add
my
it. You can
goodness.
add it.
Let's
Go ahead,
throw
add
in the
it,
Impact
add it.
section.
Old mate
What?
Tyrus, eh?
How the Impact? I'm sorry. The 10 pounds of
NWA.
gold, the NWA World Title. Maybe not right now is the most illustrious title, but history-wise is one of the most illustrious titles on the planet. And you give it to that guy? That's awful. You know what? That may have saved me for the ending segment of this show because that's tough to beat.
That's just like giving James Ellsworth
All right,
money in the bank contract.
We'll see when we get there. We'll see when we get
Wow.
there. I
don't think it's that bad. I only think ABJ thinks it's that bad because that guy is on Fox News, and we know how ABJ feels about Fox News.
What's your
how the majority of stuff
fucking match he's ever been in?
The Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay.
Yeah.
There's a bunch. Dude.
What's your favorite Funkasaurus match?
There's a bunch.
There's none.
His future endeavor.
The best part of him was his entrance when he had his little go-go dancers when he was coming out. That's the best part of him.
When you seen the Funkasaurus joke,
all day,
you're like,
Cameron,
boy, I'd love to see him with the title Ric Flair hold at one time.
Jimmy chose the wrong Funkasaurus. Or is it Jay?
Jesus.
Which one married Naomi?
One of the usual.
Yeah, Jim. No, I don't know. One of the twins.
I figured you would know. You strike me as a total diva.
I think it's Jimmy.
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
But back to Impact quick. I want to totally go over it. So, what do you guys think of like Bully Ray coming back?
It was Jimmy, by the way.
I think it's a short thing.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely a short thing. So it's just
Bully
like
Ray's temporary. I don't.
It was a shocker to me, man. Like that really got me on that one.
Good for the pop, but bad for the company.
Yeah, well, I was.
He runs his mouth too much.
Yeah,
it's like I'm shocked that he was even. Hey man, we want you to come back. Like with all the shit that he talks, he rips up everybody on his podcast. Like I was just like,
well, and that's kind of what it is, Mark.
Yeah,
for me, I think it's, Bully's one of those type of guys that I want to shit on it, and I want to show that I want to go show these people how it's done and show them that I can still go you could grab two fucks, rub them together, and try and create one fuck, and I still would care less.
Speaking of a guy who should never have won a world title, Bully Ray.
I don't think that. No, I think Bully Ray, like in his prime.
I like the whole Aces and Eights thing and all that. That was fucking awesome. I thought it was great until they NWO'd the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like they did every stable.
Facts.
That happens in every company, though.
Absolutely.
Prediction.
Absolutely. And I don't want that to come out the wrong way. Like, I love Impact and I think Impact is doing great things. There's a lot of people like Bully Ray has no business going back to Impact. Unless it's like in a character role, to cut a promo to put a guy over. If he's just doing one match to put Josh Alexander over, great, be done with it.
That's all I think it is. I want to be honest.
Cool.
I think Bully Ray's putting more work into the independent match he's gonna have with Matt Cardona more than he's putting in his Impact stuff.
Yeah, well, he's getting ready to do a tables match with Moose coming up next week, I believe.
Yeah, I think what they're doing here is they're saying, okay, Busted Open Radio does have a listenership and does get viewers. Bully is the only one on the show who could probably go there and make a little bit of an impact, no pun intended. Bully, do you mind going there and then coming on our radio show and kind of talking about it? You know what I mean? That's probably what it came down to.
Yeah, most likely.
Stephen, yes, you are right. They do have a pay-per-view coming up with Kazarian versus Alexander.
Yep. Kazarian versus Alexander. You got Moose and Bully now that it's been turned into a table match. The exhibition tournament is going to be culminated there as well.
So, Trey Miguel, by the way. Trey Miguel's going to win that.
That's who I picked too, Trey Miguel.
Yeah.
So who retires Mickie James?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like,
how long is this last rodeo going to last?
You'd want someone who's going to actually benefit from retiring her, not someone to come back and to steal the spotlight of the younger ones.
So, but if her husband comes in, do you think she's going to retire right away?
I think if she retires, I think she goes to becoming a backstage agent.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you know who would be a decent
with her
person?
husband coming in, I could see her running a program with her husband. So it would be a while before she retires.
So you think this last rodeo lasts a long time? So she's calling it the last rodeo.
Time. I wouldn't say a long time, but I mean, I could see it lasting another 4 to 6 months.
Now, does maybe we get some weird fuckery where maybe she loses, and everyone thinks, oh, because the whole storyline is Aldis is there. Everyone thinks Mickie James and Aldis are gonna do something together. What if Camille shows up? That's not my pick. I think my pick to beat her would be Tasha Steelz.
Okay,
but do you really think
she's coming off an injury that was pretty rough, and they need something to do that would make her relevant and big again right away? And she was the person to take the world title off Mickie at one point in time. So maybe she's the one who takes her out.
Do you think that NWA would be willing to work with Impact while Aldis is there?
No, Aldis is done. The NWA.
He was just talking shit
about that company. NWA is all but done. With Corgan. Corgan fucked up. Number one, he trashed women's wrestling, and then he made some stupid ass decision to make Tyrus Brodus Clay the champion, which is fantastic, man. I cannot wait till 20 or 30 years down the road when we're telling our kids and my grandkids about the National Wrestling Alliance and some of the greats that held the 10 pounds of gold. Harley Race, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Sting,
Trevor Murdoch,
and Brodus Clay.
Jeff Jarrett. Don't forget Jeff Jarrett. Sake. How can you forget Jeff Jarrett?
How can I not forget Jeff Jarrett? So, but yeah.
I didn't get to. I know we're backtracking a little bit. I didn't get to hear about how you guys like this. Like, how do you guys feel about Jeff Jarrett and AEW?
Oh,
ABJ, you've got the floor.
Shit!
If AEW is having politic and backstage issues, you just brought the king of the carny in.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Like, why? Makes no sense. But
I guarantee
he's an executive.
I bet is he?
Yeah.
So he already weaseled his way into it.
As an executive, yeah.
There's rumors. So
Wait, what?
So here's
Yeah.
what happened during the Ariel Hawani review or interview. Tony Khan had mentioned that CM Punk was in some form of management position backstage. The rumor is now it hasn't. I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed yet or not, but they're saying that Jarrett got CM Punk's backstage role, which was like the head, which was like an advertising position or something, in charge of live events or something.
He's been brought in
like
as the director of business development.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the business.
And there was rumors that was
Raz with the
CM
Googles.
Punk's. Yeah, there was rumors that was CM Punk's position backstage. And
buckle up.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Buckle up and prepare for hell. Prepare your
Okay.
anuses.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
I'm sorry I asked.
He's
Hold on
not
to your
going
butts.
in with lube. He's going in dry.
Yeah, I don't know if Tessa is going back to Impact anytime soon. Axel in the chat.
Yeah.
I don't think Tessa would go back to Impact
She's got
after the way they
she's
treated
got a
her.
lot of like problems, right? Too, like she's not very well liked. Is that the case?
Well,
Or, like,
she's
what's
not.
going on
She
with
does have some people who still don't like her because of the story and everything that came out in the past. But
Right.
she's focusing on getting like her master's degree, and she's in school, and she's still doing stuff there, and still doing independent stuff.
Okay.
I think she's still very motivated. She's still in a good headspace. I don't think she's interested in professional wrestling as much as she used to be. She's only really going from what the conversations I've had with her. The only thing she's kind of interested in is just kind of she only goes to places where she has fun. If she's not
That's
having
fair.
fun, she's not staying there.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Agreed. Let's talk about let's go back to a little bit of WWE here, guys. And
ABJ's favorite.
you know, I know we talked about Mia Ying coming in, but Sarah Logan came in, and ABJ and I kind of talked about this on the Dynamite show. There's an independent professional wrestler that goes by the name of Max the Impaler, who wrestles a lot here in Kansas City and St. Louis, the Midwest. Has actually been or was wrestling for NWA. I don't know if NWA is going to be having a lot of female or, I don't want to be insensitive to Max's pronouns. Max's pronouns are they,
They, them.
but they them, but they do wrestle a lot of female wrestlers. So I don't know how much NWA is going to be doing a lot of female stuff in the near future. But anyways,
yeah, I mean Max would have been a better 10 pounds of guard, world champion than fucking him.
Yeah, Tyrus. Brodus Clay.
I'm not even saying his name.
Funkasaurus.
He's like Voldemort to me. I'm not even speaking his name.
Oh,
not my champ. Hashtag not my champion.
Like here's what blows my mind. I don't give two shits about politics. I think I take politics, or I take people who
I'm not even making this a politic thing. I just think he's not a good wrestler.
I take people who like show out their politics the same way as I do with people that show out their fandom with sports teams and stuff. Like I don't give two shits.
Love Kane. Hate Glenn Jacobs.
Yeah.
But I'll say Kane's one of the top. He's in the top 3 of gimmicks of all time.
But like, here's my thing: you own a news station that's owned by one of the biggest kilometrories in all of history, and you bring on a guy. You bring in a professional wrestler to talk politics and sports and social events. And out of everybody you could pull, I'm sure you could have pulled some fucking Tom, Dick, and Jane.
But if you needed somebody from Fox News, what wasn't Austin Aries available?
Yeah. I mean, and yet you found Brodus Clay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyways,
with the Forgotten Sons had nothing going on that weekend. You couldn't.
Yeah, you couldn't get a God. What was his name? Was it Magnus?
Yeah,
it was Magnus in TNA, but what was his name in WWE with the Forgotten Sons?
I forgot their names. I'm gonna be honest. They're awful.
Me too.
Yeah. But yeah, and you know what? The fact that NWA made him champion is more embarrassing than Fox News going, "Hey, let's make him a news anchor."
Yeah. What do you think is more
Imagine he rocks
disappointing?
up to the boy
What
with
do
the
you
belt.
think is more disappointing? And I'm only doing this to be a troll at this point. What do you think is more disappointing to wrestling fans that he is considered now a current NWA champion, or the fact that Republicans didn't get the red wave they've been toting for 6 months?
A little bit of both.
I'm out. I'm out.
He's like, I'm Australian. I'm not even from a real country.
I'm going Tyrus.
Jackson Riker. That's who it was.
Jackson Riker.
Look at Starcade Media jumping on the Google machine. I knew that he jumped on the Google machine because I know Noah doesn't watch anything current. He watches all
ABJ,
old
your door just
WCW
opened.
stuff.
Oh, my doggo. Come here. You gotta show yourself now if you're on camera. Come on.
Nah, dude, there's a fucking ghost up in there. I'm convinced.
No, it's my dog. She's leaving.
There's like the 5th time some random shit happened in his fucking curtain.
Be right back.
Yeah, see? Now he's going to fucking bless his house real quick.
He's going to kick the dog out.
I wasn't wearing pants, so I didn't want to. Oh, don't tell me I fucked it up now.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, he did. Tech support. Doing those tech things. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
And he's back.
There we go.
Should have been like.
I forgot somebody did that. Somebody did that and really fucked with me.
Wasn't as bad as when my camera froze that day, and you got the bloody screenshot of it.
I did.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Like that stupid face.
Yep. Like this.
Why did that just happen?
What is going on?
Oh, this show's fucking terrible. Anyway, all right. Well, let's get to the first thing on our list here to talk
Your
about
favorite
SmackDown. Let's talk Roman Reigns.
No, the first thing on there is Bray Wyatt.
I don't see that.
I didn't put Bray Wyatt on this list.
Yeah, there's no.
Well, it's on there.
All right, let's catch everybody up on Bray Wyatt. He cut a promo. See you later.
Yeah, I'm not a Bray Wyatt guy right now.
All right, listen.
Look, I think on Raw when they had him confront who did he confront on Raw? Was it on Raw?
LA Knight.
LA Knight.
Yeah, LA
Yeah.
Knight on Raw. Oh, sorry.
Bray
yeah, on
Wyatt has
SmackDown.
officially done his first wrestling move. So that's a
I think
that's
that
a
was
plus.
I think that was good because it moves us into potentially the first feud of Bray. But yeah, I've
Your
seen
first feud
people.
is the guy who's also in the middle of a character change who
Yeah, I don't even think
probably
it's gonna
shouldn't
be a
take a loss
feud.
right now.
It's probably just gonna be a one-off at this point.
I've been seeing everybody on the internet saying exactly what you were saying previously. They're going to get bored of him, but doing these promos. He's been back for a month now, and they're already sick of him just doing promos.
Yo, do you remember this guy on the internet? Really handsome guy, and he literally said as soon as the rumors were coming that he was coming back, and he was like, "Yo, I just wait 6 to 8 months, and everyone's going to be over this character." Like, remember that guy? He sounds really smart now.
Yeah, man. Mark had it on the nose. That guy's smart.
Definitely wasn't Mark.
Definitely
wasn't Mark.
I've been talking longer about Bray Wyatt coming in and people getting bored about it, longer than I've been talking about people on TikTok pretending they were professional wrestlers when they weren't.
Starcade Media. Starcade Media's comment.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah,
look,
All right, we covered Bray.
Wyatt. I like Wyatt, but I think I have to agree with you. We need to see him in the ring.
Yeah. Listen, I'm excited that they're pushing that he actually is going to go after somebody, but
who do you throw at him though? Like you can't
but-
like you just said, you can't throw LA Knight at him when the guy who's going through a character change, a rebrand, and he's
but
gonna
I
take a
think
loss.
I think that's who we're getting. I think it's gonna be LA Knight.
You throw Sheamus at him. You throw fucking
Oh, Sheamus is
McIntyre.
going. Sheamus is your World Cup winner.
Yeah.
Sheamus is too hot right now, bro.
But you throw
Sheamus
you
is
throw
your World Cup
someone like
winner,
him,
and
or
he
you
uses
throw
that to
someone like.
reclaim the title at
But
Mania.
if you throw someone like him or Drew McIntyre or hell, even Karrion Kross, you throw them at Bray Wyatt to start out, then it's an impactful feud. It's not a just throwaway feud.
I might be the minority in saying this, but it's like, who do you throw at Bray Wyatt right now when you know Bray Wyatt's not going to lose his first match, and you know Bray Wyatt's not going to use the food? So it's like, who do you throw that could take a loss? Because LA Knight can't take a loss.
Let's have fun with this. WWE.com. I'm going to pull this up.
All right,
let's go to Superstars.
SmackDown.
I don't know if they split it up by shows.
The rosters, yeah.
They need to stop doing that if they do. I hate that shit. I hate the brand split. I fucking hate it. They don't even honor it.
It is stupid.
They don't even honor it.
No, they don't.
The draft is a joke. While he's Googling,
all right,
the draft is a joke.
He could beat he could beat Angel Garza because they're not doing anything with him. He could beat Adonis. They're not doing anything with him. He could beat Butch. I mean, what is Butch doing? He could beat Drew Gulak. He could beat.
Butch is going after the.
So you want him to do squash matches against these guys?
Sure. I mean, why not? Because as soon as you put him against a main guy that they have plans for, the main guy who they have plans for is going to win, and then people are going to be mad that he took losses. He can smack up Alberto Del Rio or Humberto. He can smack up Joaquin Wilde. He can smack up Ludwig. Why not Ludwig? Mace, Mansoor. They can beat those guys up. Madcap Moss, maybe. You know.
Corbin. I guess you could throw him against.
No, I think Corbin has some things coming up. But Ricochet, why not? Ricochet, they're not doing anything with him. Smack him around. Rich Holland, smack him up. Santos Escobar, smack him. Shanky,
no, Santos just won the first round of the.
Oh, you want him to have a name? Beat him up. Have him go beat up Shinsuke Nakamura. They're not doing anything with Shinsuke.
Shinsuke just got his ass kicked by fucking Santos.
Yeah. I'm saying.
And
there's some people
Santos
there.
And Shinsuke's going on to
fight. What you said is just all squash matches though.
We brought this up earlier. Shinsuke's going to fight Muda.
Yeah.
You'd think Shinsuke would have beat Escobar.
Yeah. Yeah, Jinder Mahal. Haven't beat Jinder Mahal. They don't have to be squash matches, but they could be matches that they can put a storyline together where he's taunting and you could literally do a storyline with any of those people, because even though they're not considered main guys, if you give them the ball, they can do a story. They're not incompetent. You know what I mean? So do a story where like you can do a whole thing where you're doing Miz and fucking what's his name? Dexter Lumis. They don't have to. It doesn't have to be like insanely compelling. Bray Wyatt can put it. Bray Wyatt, according to the wrestling community, is the biggest genius when it comes to putting together a storyline and promos in the history of professional wrestling. So you can literally put him against anybody and he can make a story work. The storytelling part is his strength, according to everybody, and his weakness is the ring. So give him some B-little guys who they can't really do story, but they're good workers because they got to WWE, and then they can help him in a match. And even if they're not that great, it's fine because neither is he, but at least he got the story to get there. And then he can get wins, and then he can make himself look relevant. But when you get to the point where he goes against the champions or the big name guys or people they have protection on, he's going to lose those, and then people are going to get upset.
Man, this guy really does not like Bray.
No, I'm not saying I don't like him, but that's what they have shown us. When he goes against, he can beat Braun Strowman and trade off wins with him 100 times, and then people get bored. But then when he goes after the Seth Rollins of the world or the Romans, WWE management's not willing to let Bray beat those guys.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm only just saying what they've showed us with Bray Wyatt.
No, hey, I agree with you, man. Like it's all good, but you definitely don't like that guy.
I just don't like the character. I think him as a person is probably a really nice guy. I just think the character I think he just gets he gets too much love from the internet wrestling community because he has a spooky mask on. And he scratches the itch that everybody wants with the Undertaker.
Yeah. No, I can agree with you on that. He definitely scratches that itch of the Undertaker for the wrestling fans for the supernatural character.
Yeah, we really don't have anything supernatural, so that and he's the most beloved supernatural character since the Undertaker, but they also people compare him in ring to the Undertaker, and that's not the case at all.
No. Oh hell
And
no.
that's where the comparison ends.
Taker was a big man that could actually move.
And he was a
until
supernatural
last
character
year.
that was able to take losses and still didn't diminish him as a character.
Okay.
It's gone.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get to this question. Someone brought up something about Roman Reigns. What was that?
That's the actual question of his title reign.
Oh, it's title reign. I mean, now my prediction's out the door with the whole fucking Austin Theory bullshit. So I mean, I have no clue.
I think
Hey,
Roman
Mark.
holds on. I think Roman holds on until after Mania.
So you
Hey.
think he still retains at Mania? So now he's holding it past that.
Yeah, or they could possibly do a thing where maybe he loses one belt like night 1 and then night 2 he retains the other
Man,
one.
I hope he doesn't do that shit either, man. I don't want these belts to be split. I want a fucking new belt and just one champion, dude. Like I hate this shit.
The only problem is the brand split is going to be more prevalent now than ever because they're on 2 major networks, and
Yeah.
those major networks want
Each one a
only
champion.
Netflix wants this exclusive and the other one wants this exclusive. And I'm not saying I know Netflix is in the thing, but Fox wants these 5 superstars exclusive, and Raw are going to get these 5 superstars exclusive. And as long as that's the deal, you're not going to see one title to go between the 2.
I mean, I understand it, but I just hate it.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Chase? You were calling me?
So, hey, remember when we started doing, like when we started talking about this,
Yeah.
and I said that people would get sick of Roman as champion, and everybody said, no, 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 no. We want Roman to have the title, we want Roman to have the title for 1,000, 1,500 days.
Mhm.
And everybody's sick
Look,
of it already.
I'm not sick of it.
I'm not sick of it. I don't
Look, we don't
honestly. I
have
would be
to-
honest. Storyline
I'm not
wise,
sick
I
of it.
don't think
I love
there's
it.
anybody.
I fucking love it.
I don't think
You're
there's
gonna
anybody-
love when he doesn't lose at WrestleMania. You're gonna love it.
Depends on who he doesn't lose
See,
to.
look, for me, it's the whole. We don't have the history the way. We don't have it like it was in the 60s and the 70s, and there was no weekly TV program then, and so the title reigns could be longer then because when the champ came to town, it was once every few months. They weren't defending it in your town every week, and you weren't seeing them every single week. This I see where you're coming from, Chase. People getting sick of it because while they're seeing him hold the belt, they're like, no one's being built up to take it off him.
But that's what the whole mid-card championships are for. And that's why I like it now. And that's why I feel like Triple H is doing a lot of things like this World Cup tournament for the Intercontinental. That shit that wasn't happening these few years. The Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship were obsolete. But now Triple H is putting more emphasis on these mid-card belts. Seth Rollins is the United States champion right now.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing
You know?
that we have, and this goes across both WWE and AEW, is that we see the titles, the main title, and we pretty much see it week in, week out. And the same goes for AEW on this one. We see that belt every week. On AEW, they're throwing matches at us where the belt is defended weekly. And then you go to the pay-per-view.
When WWE has made the title feel special because the champion's not on weekly television and he only wrestles on certain pay-per-views, and not even every pay-per-view, it made the championship more compelling. Even the fans who hated the fact that they didn't see their champion every week, they were still clamoring for the title match when they finally got it. And that's essentially and when they did that with Brock, people hated it, but I think in retrospect they're like, oh man, it made those matches when he was there more special. And then they gave it to Drew, and then he worked every week of the pandemic. And then when like people were kind of just like, all right, this title light's getting a little old. I think the second they drop that title off Roman, and if they drop it to who I think they're going to drop it to, bro, I'm going to be wishing Roman hell the entire time. And I think most people are going to feel the same way because I think they're going to get real bored with this person as champion next.
Who do you think is going to be the next champion?
Cody Rhodes.
The Diva tattoo.
Yeah.
The Diva belt tattoo.
Yeah. I think Cody's
going to get the initial reaction that from all the Cody fans saying, "Oh my God, I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy," and then you're going to get like 3 or 4 months of Cody, and you're going to be like, "Ugh." I just think those days of that golden baby face who overcomes every odds and just like that's like that John Cena, Hulk Hogan, he gets beat until he's a bloody pulp and then hulks up and then wins the match. I just think that style of babyface is so overdone, and that's why we're in an era where everybody wants to be a heel and everybody wants to root for the heel because they're just that style of babyface is the only style of babyface that's been pushed down our neck. And I think wrestling fans are old, and I think are getting sick of it, and I think it's getting old to them.
I don't know what's going on today, but like me and ABJ just agreeing all night is just creeping me out.
I just rewatched WrestleMania 30. I just did a content with Anthony Graves' podcast, and we rewatched WrestleMania 30. And everyone, in retrospect, loves that Mania because it's when Daniel won the championship. And when I went back and watched it, and I watched, Daniel had to just keep overcoming all the odds the entire show, and then like to the point where he was on a stretcher, and then got off the stretcher, and then wrestled like he was just never on a stretcher. I just felt it was way overdone, and I think you're gonna get that from Cody turned to fucking 52.
Yeah, see Cody coming back to WWE, taking the belt is the ultimate goal, and he's even said kicking himself out of the AEW title was the biggest mistake he ever made. And he's gone on record and pretty much said that if he hadn't done that, he probably would still be in AEW at this point in time.
Oh, Jake Boss, that's a tough take. To Braun Breaker, that's nutty.
No, that's not going to happen.
I hope not.
All I'm going to say is this: the same people that complained that Brock Lesnar never showed up to defend the Universal Championship are the same people that are loving Roman Reigns' title run now. However, when I bring up that Roman's not going to lose at WrestleMania, they all go, "Oh, yeah, no, I don't like that. No, he's not going to keep it that long, is he?"
I love the long reigns. That's you know how I am. I hate this. I hate the hot potato fucking championship reigns. So for him having this long ass reign is great. It just all depends on who he drops it to. And if you're saying he's going to hold it past WrestleMania, fine, that's great. I won't be mad, but it all depends who he faces at Mania. Like if you think it's going to be The Rock, and if he beats The Rock, he's past Mania, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think 100% we're getting Rock Roman at Mania this year.
I think so too now, unfortunately. But like for whatever reason, it's not The Rock. Say Cody is healthy and he fights Cody and he doesn't lose to Cody, then I might be a little pissed off. I mean, I feel like it is Cody. Cody is the guy who's essentially destined to be the one, right? I mean, it's him, right?
That's the only thing from my standpoint, and every time I bring this up, people tell me I'm wrong for having this viewpoint. But is your thing now, Vince? I can see doing this because Vince looks at Cody and says, "Well, there's a guy that went out and did it. There's a guy that went out and did his own thing, and I respect that."
Yeah.
But if I'm Triple H, I'm like, "Yo, my guy, you smashed my throne. You took shots at me every chance you got. You said I was a problem of professional wrestling, and what I was doing in professional wrestling is I was so bad at it that you went and started a company to change the landscape of wrestling and make it better. And now you're back here sucking off the tea to the company that you said was so bad and you wanted to change the climate of wrestling, and that was the whole keynote of your company, and now you're back. If, like how we're talking Theory, yes, you can sit there and say Theory was a Triple H guy. I mean a Vince guy, but Theory was a Triple H guy first.
Yeah, that's what I said
And
earlier too.
I just don't think Theory where Triple H sees Theory is where Vince sees Theory. I don't know if Cody's push is going to be as strong with Triple H as it would have been if Vince was still in charge.
No. Hell no. It's never going to be as strong with Triple H in charge. Triple H is
like you're building up a guy who's going to hold the title for 800, 700, whatever, how many days Roman holds it until Mania. And the guy who beats him is the guy who left your company to rival your company, to then come back to your company and beat the most prestigious guy to ever be in your company in this modern era. That's not a good look.
Yeah. I don't know how the business works. I don't work in the business. I'm just a guy. I'm just a fanboy. But like,
don't worry, you're writing for the company.
I can, yeah. If I could get the time again.
Like, that's why you left the show.
If you had,
I can't imagine. All right, for all the reasons you just said, Cody leaving AEW, going to WWE, not having something in his contract where he wins that championship.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No. I don't. That in contracts is almost that is the almost up, like the most rare thing in professional wrestling is that you put your guaranteed a world title shot in your contract.
Yeah,
I can't imagine Cody leaves and does not.
Yeah, that is almost like a wrestling taboo.
I can, Mark, and I can, and do you know why? Because of the zeros. Like, we're not talking about guys on the independent scene who are like, yo, like, I've got to win that championship. I've got to win this championship to feel valid, to feel whatever. We're talking about megastars. Megastars who the bottom line was Cody Rhodes left AEW because Tony Khan wouldn't pay Cody Rhodes what Cody Rhodes thought he was worth. And so Cody Rhodes said, okay, where else am I going to go now besides back to the E? It's the only thing I can do.
Said
this facade that we as wrestling fans have made up that Cody Rhodes went back so he could be champion.
Yeah.
It's a storyline.
Cody has said
Tony Khan and Cody could have came up with a thing where Tony Khan could be like, okay, now Cody can challenge for the title. And everybody like the championship the championship had little to nothing to do with Cody Rhodes leaving AEW. Zeros.
They're all
zeros.
I'll disagree a little bit there. I think Cody is a big enough mark for himself that I think Cody feels he needs to have a title belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, if he wanted to and he stayed in AEW, if Tony paid him the money he wanted, then him and Tony could have came together and been like, okay, here's how I can get back in the title picture. Here's how we reverse that stipulation. It's fucking professional wrestling.
It's super easy to reverse that fucking stipulation. You can just turn.
He likes to do everything his dad did. Do the Midnight Rider.
Yeah,
Cody didn't win the title. Some guy in a mask did. We all know it's Cody.
It's even simpler than that. It's like, okay, he walks away from his contract. He comes out on TV, signs a brand new contract that says he gets a world title shot. Done.
Mark, who's your football team?
Bears.
The Bears. So, Brett
we got
Favre,
a quarterback, ladies and gentlemen.
Brett Favre, real quick. Brett Favre, and during the heyday of like Packers Bears rivalry, Brett Favre goes on TV every single time, and he's like, I fucking hate the Bears. Every time they go and play in Chicago, Aaron Rodgers essentially goes out and takes a piss in the middle of the field in the sea. And he just does it every single year. And every single thing out of his mouth is, how was the game this week? Oh, the game was real good. I had 400 yards. Also, fuck Chicago. Anyway, and then I threw the ball.
Own you. I fucking own you.
You know what I mean? And then Chicago goes, man, let's bring in Aaron Rodgers, and he wins you a Super Bowl. Like a part of your franchise is like, man, I'm happy. He's here and he won us a Super Bowl. but he's also the guy who took a shit in the middle of our field and talked about us every single chance he had. That's Cody going back to WB in my eyes. As a sports fan, that's the way I see it. Like, you're the guy who bucked the system and did very well at doing it and established something with a group of people, but you're such a mark for yourself that you wanted a belt, that you came back to the company you hated to get it, and that company's like, let's have you, buddy. Like, that's a bad move. Like, no offense, like, and maybe I'm biased because I love Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens is the guy who doesn't leave. Kevin Owens is the guy who stayed true to the company. How is he not being rewarded with it right now? Sure, he got thrown the Stone Cold bone at Mania, but I feel there's got to be more to that. Like, there's more of a reward for Kevin Owens coming.
I agree with you on the Kevin Owens, you Kevin Owens lookalike, but all I'm saying is
this reminds me of Sting in WCW. Every single time Sting stayed a company guy, and he never got fully that torch handed to him, because every single time it was about to be Sting's turn, a returning Hulk Hogan came and took it from him, or he had to be Stone Cold's best friend, or Ric Flair decided he was going to play contract negotiations and bounce back and forth between the two rival companies. But Sting stayed true, and it never paid off for him. And then and Cody's kind of that guy bouncing back and forth, and he wants to be the top guy everywhere.
And look, if he wanted a belt, if Cody wanted a belt, he could have gone to Impact. He could have gone to NWA. I'm sure they would have put the belt on him.
WWE gave Cody that money so they can say they stole their boy.
Yeah. So they took the EVP. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It was the first. It was the reverse shot of WWE guys have all jumped over to AEW. We finally got one back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hogan's the reason why creative control in contracts will never be a thing in pro wrestling again.
It's just so hard for me to believe that Cody does not get a title shot.
I'm not saying he doesn't get a shot.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. He doesn't get a championship title run. That's what I meant.
So my question is, with the guys that, so supposedly the guys when Cody came in and Vince was like, I don't see the appeal, and the guys who told Vince that was like, hey, he's got to have the same music, he's got to have the same character, he's got to have the same look, he's got to be the American Nightmare, he's got to have that stuff. Are those people not doing the same thing to Hunter?
They can't, because they're gone. Most of the people who were there that were Vince's guys in Vince's ear are gone and no longer work really well. They work behind the scenes, but they don't work in close contact with Triple H anymore.
But how do we know? How do we know Hunter wasn't one of those guys that told Vince like, hey, like, if you bring him in, you got to have him this way.
And they had to. That was the smartest way to bring him back, is essentially clone what he was doing in AEW.
The thing is, he owns the rights to his music anyway. He owns the rights to his name, so he was bound wherever he showed up. You don't think if Scott Hall had
the rights to everything that made him popular in WWE, he doesn't walk into WCW with the same exact gimmick he did in the other company? You know, he would have done that, but he couldn't. But Cody put himself in a position where he owned the rights to everything he did in AEW, so he walked out the door and he walked out with everything that it was his.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he also walked out the door with a bunch of match types that he paid for because they were his dad's match types, and pay-per-view names that the company was using. We don't know what stuff of that Cody owned that AEW was using is still eligible to be used.
Well,
or all those stuff that Cody went and bought was that bought with Tony's money and Cody's blessing, or was that bought with Cody and he gets to take that with him again? Because if that's the deal, now WWE says, hey, we'll give you all this money, but remember those things that you kind of like own? Like maybe they say, hey, we'll give you a title at Mania and give you your title, but we want the Bash at the Beach thing. We want whatever he owns. I don't know. I'm just kind of putting it out there. There's a lot at stake there. But I think Cody can beat Roman for one of the titles, maybe day one at Mania. But I think with that being a 2-day thing, I think Roman defends twice. I think he loses to Cody for one show, probably either Raw or SmackDown, and the other one he's wrestling The Rock.
And you don't think that makes Roman look a little weak, losing one of the championships is kind of like starting to take away from the bloodline a little bit.
I think by the time we get to Mania, I think we're going to be at the point where the bloodline's not as strong as they once were.
Yep.
I think if we're going to throw a curveball
I
in,
think
we
think
get
that
Jay going for a title shot.
Is Roman? Here's a question: is Roman the GOAT of wrestling right now because he's out there just smashing everybody, or is he winning his matches because he's winning them dirty because he's always getting help from the bloodline?
What does it matter?
It matters a lot because once the bloodline's no longer there to help him, does he continue to keep winning?
Well, probably not. Of course. I mean,
can I bring up a question?
That's what I'm saying. They've shown where they're making us. They're showing that Roman Reigns is Superman, but they're also showing you a teaser of what his kryptonite is, where maybe he's only as good as the people around him, and then once those people are no longer there, he's suspect. And I think the first person to really show that was Kevin Owens.
I want to bring up the question of from Starcade Media that says, is anyone here who doesn't like Roman or doesn't think he should have been given this historic title reign?
Not at all. I think and this has come from someone who hated babyface Roman. I wanted him off my TV. I didn't care when he was wrestling. I'd go right to my phone.
Same.
I agree.
I did not like him when he was babyface. I thought he was shoved down our throats, and Vince was just trying to recreate Cena with a new guy who had the look. But I think
babyface Roman was just forced on our throat.
I think the heel Roman has been something that was definitely needed, and it has changed his whole layout of his history in this company and where he's going to sit in the timeline of things when it comes down to the Hall of Fame.
So we kind of touched on the World Cup a little bit. I'm just trying to segue because we are at 2.5 hours here.
I mean, us that were here on time are at 2.5 hours.
Yeah. I mean, high pot meat kettle. Now that I know that more information. Who do you guys have winning the World Cup?
I don't care.
Sheamus.
Yeah, I might pick Sheamus.
Why don't you care?
Because
I
think we get Sheamus. I think we get Sheamus winning the IC title at Mania.
That's a great prediction, and I hope it happens. Now I like Sheamus. This whole Brawling Brutes has got me to become a Sheamus fan.
Yeah. See, Sheamus has gotten over so well by doing things that are out of the norm. The Brawling Brutes, the Cesaro, like the Bar, like doing things outside of the norm. The Bar started as a feud, became a tag team, and they got over. Sheamus, when he's been by himself as either the heel or trying to be the babyface, it just doesn't work.
Can I fantasy book something and see if I fall into the category of bad booking and everyone can roast me?
Sure.
All right. So everyone's saying right now, War Games is coming, right? So we're getting the Brutes and we're getting the Bloodline. Who's everyone saying the fifth member of the Brutes is going to be? KO, right? Everyone's saying KO. That's kind of like everyone's fan theory.
Okay.
I haven't heard that.
KO finds his way into War Games and he's with the Brutes for that match.
Okay.
Because Sammy's on the other side, maybe they can respark that.
Okay.
And they like doing the whole golden baby face, like stack the odds against him, right? So Kevin Owens goes into War Games. He's doing fine. He has the Brawling Brutes with him. Right as the time where maybe the Brawling Brutes are going to win, or they have the upper hand, or things are going good, Gunther and his team come out and maybe distract or take out some members so they can't get in to then help in the War Games match, or they, some fuckery happens where things happen. Kevin Owens then goes on a run, maybe with just shorthanded into War Games where they don't have members. So maybe him and Sheamus just kind of get decimated. Bloodline still looks strong, and the Bloodline kind of beats down KO and Sheamus, which then would spark Sheamus then going back after Gunther, now with his World Cup win, to to lead into Mania, and Kevin I got jumped by the bloodline, but Sammy may or may not have helped. He kind of stood back and watched. He didn't really do anything. Leads into Rumble, gets into Rumble. Kevin Owens comes in mid, maybe late, and runs through the Rumble. And maybe it comes down to like Cody, KO, maybe a Sammy or a solo at the end there. Everyone's thinking Cody. Maybe Sammy may or may not helps KO win, but maybe not intentionally. Not sure what's happening here. Leads into Mania. KO versus Roman for the title one of these nights, and that's when we finally get the full Sammy. I'm Team KO and cost Roman his world title. I think that's more compelling than babyface. Let's have streamers and confetti fall from the ceiling. Cody Rhodes.
See, that's great fantasy booking, but that's why you're not paid by the company.
Hire me, WWE. I'm here for you.
That's why you're not paid by the company.
What if Sammy's the guy to win it all?
I wouldn't hate that either.
What if Sammy, Sammy's so fucking over right now with this. What is it called? Honorary Oos. It's fucking nuts, and he's like my favorite part of fucking WWE programming right now. I just want to see what the fuck kind of bullshit.
Yeah, that's a bad booking.
Me?
Yes.
Fuck you, bro, Mister. I hate the fucking World Cup. Why do you hate the World Cup?
Because it's stupid. It's pointless.
Why?
Pointless.
How is it pointless? Tell me how's it pointless.
It's a number one contenders tournament.
Tell me how's it pointless.
A number one contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship, right, Raz?
Yes.
How is that?
That Mark and ABJ just said that is going to culminate with Sheamus winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. It's fucking November. Fuck out of here.
How is that pointless?
Well, the World Cup's going to stretch out for a little bit. You know, the World Cup isn't like it's like a 2-month thing.
You're using
it's going to stretch out. It's going to stretch out a few weeks, guys.
You're using
not 4 months.
It's tournament. Okay. You're using a tournament to put more emphasis on a mid-card belt
that we haven't really seen used a lot.
Exactly. Are you kidding me? That is bad booking of your fuck. That's an asinine take. No. That's an asinine fucking
and
take.
we need
coming from the guy that just said, oh, Sammy should be the one to win it all.
Why not?
Brock Lesnar can't beat fucking Roman Reigns the 4 times they fought each other.
Why not?
But Sami Zayn can beat Brock Lesnar. Get the fuck out of here.
I'd rather see it happen than fucking Brock Lesnar or anybody else.
God.
Who's your pick?
It's not realistic.
Rock?
It's not realistic.
Who's your pick? The Rock?
No.
My name may be Mark, but you're acting like one right now.
Mr. Oh, The Rock should face Roman at Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Better. It's better than wasting my time at WrestleMania. Oh, yeah, it brings money. It brings money. Guess what? WrestleMania is always bringing money. What the fuck of bringing The Rock in there has to do with anything?
It's because The Rock generates more money, dipshit.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, my God, because WrestleMania is not going to generate money, man. Who excuse the fuck out of me?
As he's wearing a Rock shirt.
I know.
I did it for him. I did it on purpose for him because I knew we were going to have this argument.
No, but the bad booking. Let me tell you something. Bad booking was
any fucking money.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
WrestleMania is going to make money regardless if The Rock is on it or not.
They are, but if you
Mark, have you ever seen the social? Have you ever seen the Social Network?
Rumble.
Have you ever seen the Social Network?
Yeah, I've seen the stupid thing. But what I'm saying is,
do you remember the part in the movie where he said, "Hey, what's better than $1 million? $1 billion." That's how stupid you sound, bro. Like,
really? That's how stupid I sound?
Because what's better than selling all that money for WrestleMania, adding The Rock to it, and selling more money?
To know that he's going to lose? Who wants to see The Rock? So now we're going to add John Cena, who we know going to lose with his bad haircut. We're going to bring The Rock, who he knows he's going to lose to Roman Reigns. That sounds like a bullshit WrestleMania to me.
But yeah, says the guy that'll still watch it.
Not live, but yeah, probably.
Yeah. Says the guy who loves Roman Reigns' title run, but I'm not going to watch Roman Reigns beat The Rock because that sounds boring. But I'm so glad that this dude's going to keep the title for 3 years.
Is that how I sound, you dipshit?
Yes, that is exactly how you sound.
Is this how you sound? Well,
Exactly.
here we go. You hot it, guys. But how do we make more money, guys? We book the fucking Rock. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I didn't know Chase sounded like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'll be back. I've got to make some
dude.
popcorn.
The Rock versus
Oh, go ahead,
WrestleMania, or the Rock versus Roman shouldn't happen at WrestleMania. It should happen at Royal Rumble because their family and the bloodline and royalty. Get it? It makes sense, bro.
I thought that was pretty good take. If you ask me, that's a great booking.
I thought it was dog shit.
And also, too,
I thought it was absolute dog shit.
And also, it makes more money.
No,
Royal
it
Rumble's
doesn't.
boring now. Royal Rumble's boring now.
And tune in
It's
next
still
week
going to
for
sell tickets.
Royal Rumble's
next week's
boring now.
episode of Bad Booking.
So is WrestleMania, dummy. It's still gonna sell tickets.
So if The Rock
So
only has
WrestleMania.
one match, if The Rock only has one match left, you're going to have him wrestle at Royal Rumble and not WrestleMania?
Yeah.
And on next week's
100%.
episode of Bad Booking, we'll still be having this argument.
We will always have this argument, and for him,
Yes,
fucking
Bad Booking was the perfect name for this show for Mark.
yeah.
I can't wait to have the WrestleMania point at it.
Are you gonna get?
I'm gonna get I need an ABJ logo or an Anthony Blackwell Jr. logo that is modeled after WrestleMania, and I'm just gonna put a banner. I'm just gonna be like, "That season, boys."
Chase, that's your homework for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make me a Mania 1 spoof of just, but have it say Anthony Blackwell Jr.
Now let's move on from the feud.
Yeah,
of
what
the
else we got?
century.
Good call.
Usos and their tag team title run.
Oh
Yeah, I keep thinking to myself that it could be any week now, but I think now that they have officially in WWE eyes have been the longest reigning tag team, I think it is at the point now where it can happen at any time, and they can split titles.
Yep. I think they should have.
Them losing the titles is going to be the start of the downfall of the bloodline, and we have 4 months to stretch it out.
For sure, agree with you on that one. Like, I'm glad that they did this historic title run. It is a good idea because still having the New Day there as well to be able to play off that was fantastic. You knew
who do you think deserves it? What tag team in wrestling right now in WWE deserves the tag team titles?
No one. Brawling Brutes.
I don't want to see New Day again.
No. New Day, no. I think Brawling Brutes is definitely one that could do it. If you're going to, I would say,
and this is saying if we don't get Sammy and Kevin, because I definitely think we're getting them at some point. But we're also talking here that the bloodline has to drop 2 sets. So if they're not dropping 2 to one person, because then we're stuck in the predicament again where it's that's the situation. But Sammy and Kevin are on 2 different shows.
Well, it's definitely not going to be Shit Row, that's for sure.
Brawling Brutes, maybe the Viking Raiders now. They're doing a lot.
You know what team I think deserves it? I think they probably should have done it a while ago, but then we didn't realize that the bloodline was going to go on this epic run. Bro, fucking Street Profits. Give them some titles.
Actually, yeah. Street Profits. They're my guys.
They're young, they're hot, you know what I mean? And then if they look like they're going to lose again, then you can always tease that they're going to split up, and that's when you break up the tag team. But I think
I think they're going to split them up. They're going to do the same thing with them that they did with Enzo and Cass. They're not going to give them the tag team titles. They'll split them up.
I think before you split them up, you got to give them a run as tag team champions.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I especially think for the fact if what we all think is the case with Montez and him just being as good as he is, for him to be a part of this tag team and for how good this tag team has been, especially with Angelo Dawkins really stepping up his game and putting on a lot of work in the match and actually showing he deserves to be considered just as good.
For sure.
They deserve a tag team run. I agree too with the Legado del Fantasma, but I also think Garza and Garza, like that, they should really push them a little heavier. I think they're good. Humberto and Garza. I think they're interesting.
They're good, but the
Los
problem is
Lotarios?
they've been
Yeah,
stuck with
yeah.
they've been stuck with that typical Mexican gimmick.
Yeah. I
And-
kind of like when they came out and kissed the crowd. That was kind of funny, but you're not going to get that.
I like Mark's reaction to that, the typical Mexican gimmick. Not trying to be offensive here, but
there is no typical Mexican gimmick besides what was that in the 2000s when they used to come on the fucking lawnmowers, super crazy and
yeah.
The Mexicals.
Fucking ridiculous. Thank you, the Mexicals. Yeah. That shit was fucking ridiculous.
But next up,
Kerwin White was pretty funny to me too.
Next, we've got the Shotzi as the number one contender.
I think we could skip this one. We're long on time.
Yeah,
that's a no go. Like,
and we already talked Sarah Logan. Yeah. Do we want to dive into Jungle Boy Luchasaurus so you guys can curse at each other again for 15 minutes here? Or?
God.
Well, no, I mean, I actually did put that in there so him and I could argue.
Thoughts on the House of Black coming back and the way they're bringing them back?
Let's hope they're utilized well.
Exactly.
Chase?
1,000% agree. As long as they are utilized, I'm excited. But I mean, if it's
keep them away from Darby because obviously they can't beat the 42-pound goth kid.
Look, I'd personally like to see them come back and you throw Malachi into the world title picture.
I don't know about world title.
I think at least the main title.
I think fans are already disappointed enough that Malachi hasn't been utilized properly, and I think to throw him at MJF would be a disservice.
I don't think straight away throw him at MJF. I think build him to the world title, but throw him into the TNT title, throw him into the All Atlantic title, and make either of those titles actually fucking relevant. Like, make them seem prestigious. Don't just have them there as, oh, we've got this title on someone because they're the popular kid in the class.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want the House of Black just to do a good Cheerios run. I mean,
but do you think we're going to get more additions to the House of Black, or is it just going to stay as the trio?
Keep it 3. We don't need it.
I don't think
keep it 3 with her.
Yeah, you don't need it anymore. You just need them to help solidify a division that's not there.
For sure. Okay. And now we're up to the last few sections, which is our favorite stupid or comedic.
Well, I think we decided here we're going to pick one of these 3, and that's how we were going to do our weekly draft idea. So do we want to do stupid comedy gimmicks, wrestling finishers, or wrestling entrance music?
Let's open it up to the chat and see what they say.
We're going to do a draft without thinking, no prep, no draft board.
And since there's a lot of people in here, we'll only do 3 picks. Let's do that.
3?
We'll do 3 picks. So round
so
1, round
do you
2,
want
round
us, the Jake Boss or Starcade Media noms pick? Do you want us to do a gimmick, like our favorite stupid / comedy gimmicks? And it is stupid or comedy gimmicks, so stick to that trend. Wrestling finishers or entrance music. What should we draft? So when I said this in our group chat, I didn't realize it was a draft bit. I thought it was we're going to talk about our favorites. And then I seen draft now, and I was like, oh, this is different.
This was your idea.
Yeah, that's why I picked stupid comedy gimmicks. And now I realize it's a draft, so I'm kind of into this more because I thought we were just going to randomly talk about it. But the draft is here. Now how do we figure out who drafts first?
Come on, Drake Boss or Jake Boss.
I say whoever said first wins, and Starcade got it in first. That's my take, but it's up to you guys.
I'm not the host, so I can't say.
I am down with stupid comedy gimmicks.
All right, well, we got 2 for it.
There's
so that's
2
it.
votes. Yep.
Yeah, so two best of the 3, 2 wins. How do we figure out, Chase, who goes first?
One who showed up last can go first.
We'll start from the bottom and go around.
The one who showed up last can go first.
So I go first?
Yes.
There you go.
All right. Stupid comedy gimmicks. Now we're trying to pick the best of this category, right? So we're actually drafting as if there was a world title for the best stupid comedy guys, who would win?
I want to write this down so we know who picked what.
Stupid comedy gimmicks.
So who's got the number 1 overall pick? ABJ?
I got the number overall, and then it goes to you with 2, the second pick, then
All right.
Chase, then Raz. Round 1, first
Raz
round
and
pick.
then Chase.
Oh, you're going last?
We're going by who got in here first, right?
Okay. Well, that's going to be tough to. You're going to always pick last then because you create the room.
Yep.
So I will go first round pick, and I will go with I would say is the most talented stupid comedy gimmick today in wrestling. I just without thinking and not trying to dig too deep into the past of talent and who did that kind of stuff, I'm gonna go with the who I think is the top guy right now, and I think that's Orange Cassidy is in my first round pick for stupid / comedy gimmicks, and my first round pick.
All right.
I think that's first round worthy.
Okay.
It's a good starting quarterback.
Hands down.
I did not expect that. I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in my thought process right there. So I'm gonna give you.
I'm terrified for your pick now.
No, I'm because I was going more past as opposed to current. That's why.
Okay.
So my first round pick is I'm gonna go Damien Sandow as the Mizdow, the stunt devil for the Miz. Mizdow.
Wow. That's a first rounder?
Mizdow. That's my first rounder. He made that shit. He made that shit work. Like, dude, that's my shit right there.
I think that's a reach. I think you could have got that later.
Okay.
I think that's a late round pick. I think this is my take. I could be wrong.
It's all good. It's all fun, right?
For me, I'm gonna go Santino Marella.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, Cobra.
Yep.
I think that's a worthy. I'm not sure how I feel about first round, but I think it's a really
this
good
guy, dude. I feel like I'm at my fancy football job, like reach, like this guy. That's him.
I've missed you, Mark.
I thought Mark was going Chris Jericho and WCW. Oh fuck you. Yeah. Who knows? It might happen.
Chase, your turn.
All right, Chase.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, fuck. They picked all the good ones.
I know. I'll go with a current one. Favorite comedy gimmick.
Oh damn.
Stupid or comedy, like something that was just like not meant to work, you know?
Work. Fandango.
You said it wrong.
Fandango.
There you go.
Yep. Dirty Dango.
Talk about the most bullshit WrestleMania win in history. Moving on.
And I'm going to be completely honest. This is where I was going with round 2. I was actually going to do it in round 3 because I didn't think anyone would have thought this far out of the box for it. But I'm going to say it for 2 reasons and 2 reasons only. 1, I want to piss somebody off. And 2, I wasn't expecting somebody in the chat to throw my pick out there. I'm going Chris Jericho in the 2 slot because his spoiled brat Y2J was a comedy gimmick, and he got picked on and made fun of and turned the character into a world champion. And 2, the conspiracy theory Jericho was 100% a stupid comic gimmick. So I'm going to steal your GOAT in the second round. And Ralpheus, he was with Ralpheus. I'm stealing your guy in the second round, and I was going to do it in the third, but they put it in the chat on me. So and for my second round, I'm going Chris Jericho.
And you've killed Mark. Mark's
That's
gone
What
now.
a steal!
Actually, when you think about it, Jericho's actually the perfect pick. The fact that Jericho wouldn't have gone number 1 to one of us is actually asinine
That's
on
why
our part.
I think it's crazy. You
The
went
list
with
of
who you went for.
Jericho, Ralphus, Y2J, like all of his gimmicks.
Yeah. I
So
thought for sure you were going Jericho round 1.
you want to know why? And first of all, I have. So where's my phone? Oh, fuck, it's not. So I was putting pics in my phone all day. All right. Chris Jericho was in the last round on all my picks because I didn't think any of you fucking ass clowns would fucking draft them. So now I just don't want to play anymore.
Now, come on, Chet. Come on, Mark.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Now you
Who's your number 2?
Yep. Who's your number 2?
I don't want to play anymore. I'm gonna go, and no one's gonna like this pick, but I love him. I'm going the Boogeyman.
That's a good pick.
I'm going the Boogeyman.
I fucking love that pick.
So when I was getting my little cousin into wrestling, all right. So this was in the age where I kind of veered off a little bit. The Boogeyman. He used to do that. What was that fucking? He used to come on and do that little stupid shimmy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I thought that shit was fucking hysterical, bro. Like, I don't know.
I think we can go 5 rounds here. I'm just being said. I think we can each get 5.
I agree.
I agree.
Man, I'm so glad.
I can't stop at 3. I can't stop at 3.
I was pissed when you said 3 rounds.
You got to do 3 because then it makes you think more. And then people are like, oh, well, then we could just get all these guys. It makes
if one of your guys gets stolen.
I think for me, number 2 has to be Yano from New Japan.
Okay.
He has a comedy gimmick where all he's doing is trying to sell wrestling DVDs. That's all he's trying to do. And he'll pull off the turnbuckle, throw it at people, and it's a comedy gimmick. You have to actually see him to understand it. I understand that Chase doesn't really watch New Japan, so
I would have went with
Chase
a different
Chase has a New Japan subscription, buddy.
When did that happen?
Can you send me?
I'll give it to you.
Can you send me your login so I can watch it? Yeah. I gotta watch some shit there.
I've been a member for like 4 years.
Oh shit! Sorry.
I'll send you my password for IWTV if you want. We'll trade off. Anyway,
big pics from Omegle.
I would have went with somebody else in Japan because I mean I don't think he's really considered a comedy gimmick, but I don't want to spoil it in case somebody else is going with him and ruin somebody else's draft. But I like Yano, but I think you could have went somewhere else with a higher quality talent.
All right, now that we're at my pick, before we get my pick out of the way, there is nothing that nothing I love more than when I read the word or see or hear somebody say Omegle, because now all I can think of is ABJ real close to his microphone, like, "Oh yeah, come on, buddy, get it! Oh, look at the hammer on that guy!"
Yeah. If you want to see amazing content, please join my Discord. It is quite amazing where I will go into a Omegle and I will stream it in Discord, and then you guys can watch along at the hilarity of me dressed as Jesus judging people for trying to show their wieners. It's pretty amazing.
Oh my god!
You can click on my link tree, and it is the second little icon. It's a little robot. Come join the Discord. We're almost at 100 members. Who's your second your second round pick here?
Yeah, my second round pick. I'm going with safe picks. That's why I think I'm winning this draft. You guys are coming up with weird ones and pulling them out of your ass.
I am clearly winning this draft right now.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. Who was my first round pick?
Fandango.
Yeah, Fandango.
I went with Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho. You're at Fandango. Thank you.
Yeah. Number 2, Gold Dust.
Ooh.
Suck it, bitch.
That's a good pick. I thought he would have fell further. I
was gonna take him.
That's a good pick. It's a real good pick. Fuck. I gotta adjust my draft board in my brain now. My third round pick. And I think this bit could have fell further, and maybe I'm reaching. This is maybe a little where I feel like I can get this later. You know what? Scratch that. My team is going to be comedy funny, but can also be considered some of the greatest of all times.
Oh, sounds like he's cheating. Go on.
And there is, once I already got a world champion in Chris Jericho in the second round, I'm going to go for another world champion who at one point in time wore little cowboy hats and would come out and sing little silly songs. And he started off as a comedy guy. I'm going with fucking Kurt Angle.
Wow. What gimmick of Kurt Angle though? You gotta
when he was full comedy and he was getting his head shaved because it was funny and he was wearing little cowboy hats. He was wearing wearing the wrestling headgear because he had a wig on.
I think
is there a flag there or is that not being allowed?
I think I'm drawing a challenge flag out there, Chase.
All right, I'll accept the terms. If everyone agrees, I will pick somebody else.
I don't know. I think
it's up to you, Chase.
I think I'm gonna let Kurt stand.
All right, we're gonna let Kurt stand.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I can see because he was comedy for quite some time. Yeah.
See, when I made this thing, I'm thinking like we're talking stupid, shouldn't work, pure funny.
Kurt Angle shouldn't
be
have
a
worked.
Squash guy. You know, that's what I'm thinking, and that's why I'm sticking with my jabs. You know, the Mizdow shouldn't have worked. Boogeyman shouldn't have worked, but I also want the funny. I want the party.
You can't do guys that did funny stuff.
No. I think Kurt.
Because everyone did funny stuff. Everyone did funny stuff. Because I mean, if you want to,
but I mean, like I said,
The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, they all done funny shit.
Like I said, ABJ has a really good case with Kurt Angle. You know, I'm an Olympic gold medalist, and I practice the 3 I's: intelligence, integrity, and intensity, and then go cheat to win his matches. The milk truck, the bestiality sex with Charmel. I mean,
so Mark, who's number 3 for you?
My number 3 is I'm gonna stick with my funny, and I'm gonna stick with my shit, and I'm gonna tell everyone out there, no matter how pissed you might be that The Rock shouldn't be at WrestleMania, just don't be a lemon, be a rose butter. We're going Adam Rose.
Ooh.
With the number 3 pick. That was my shit. Yikes. Oh yeah.
God, dude. You really fucked him over with the Jericho pick because man,
you are drafting the Cleveland Browns of characters here. All right,
that's the point of the draft. You're here drafting world champions.
You could have found Adam Rose in the. Yeah, you could have signed Adam Rose as an undrafted free agent, my guy.
Yeah, that's a guy you could have got off the waiver wire. You know what I mean? You could have got him off my practice squad.
The whole point of the draft is to draft funny guys, stupid ass gimmicks, not world champions.
The point of the draft is to
not
draft
world champions.
The best of these characters.
No, the most entertaining of these characters. And Adam Rose was entertaining, and I wish I was on that party bus.
Yeah. When I think entertaining, all right, Raz, who you got? I'd go Adam Rose over the list of Jericho. That's right.
When some asshole took him, I really had no choice now, did I?
I'm going to go one that I didn't think I would go. And you better stand back because there's a hurricane.
Coming. Damn it, you took my pick.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Hurricane.
His stick with The Rock in the locker room constantly, and the matches he had with The Rock were fucking brilliant. Like, it just worked perfectly. It shouldn't have, but it worked perfectly.
Chase.
All right. Well, since Raz took my pick, I'm gonna have to. Don't worry, because I've got a draft board, so I've got backup picks. Because that happens sometimes. Sometimes, the guys take your picks. So I'm going R-Truth.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You took my next one.
That was literally coming off my board next. That would have been my 4th round.
So we're going 5?
Yeah, we're
5.
going
so this is the 4th round. Right. That would have easily been my next 4th round. I almost even bragged about it. I was going to say, boy, you guys let one slip through, and I was going to take R-Truth. Ooh.
Yeah. I got a couple of controversial ones too. I might throw on there if we're going to 5.
I mean, since we're picking world champions, maybe I'll start picking some world champions.
Yeah, you got to pick some people because your list is terrible.
I mean,
heard that. Wish I didn't, but I did.
I mean, the point was stupid gimmicks, funny gimmicks, not world champions.
I think I picked great people.
Not world champions, but whatever. Go on. Continue with your world champions.
I picked guys who were so good at being a bad character that they broke out of the mold of being a bad character and became legitimate contenders.
No, I'm going with all stupid, and my next one's just as stupid.
I'm not talking about like guys who got really popular that then did comedy shtick for a while. I'm talking about guys who broke the glass ceiling.
That's fine. Who's your next pick?
Oh man, I have to think a little bit here. Maybe I'll go with funny, like who I like, but oh fuck. You know what? When you think gimmicks, you think a guy who has done a bunch of them. And you think guys who are comic. And there's 2 that come to mind, and I don't think you guys are good enough wrestling fans to take the one. And probably I'm going to lead you into another. So I'll take the one that I think is the most easy pick when it comes to comedy, because and if there's a flag, I'll go to my backup here with my other pick. But I'm going Dude Love.
I can give that.
Now, does this count? Because is that a flag?
No, it does. It does, because I was gonna call Mankind.
I don't think he started.
Mankind wasn't a stupid gimmick. Mankind
at one point he did turn into a complete stupid character, and he was giving balloons. And Socko is when he kind of he went from the Claw to Socko. That's comedy.
Yeah. But he started out as the serious gimmick. So and Chase, that means you can't pick Mick Foley.
I would ask Mark, but Mark is really, really salty about you picking Jericho. So I think Mark would just vote against you just to vote against you.
Yeah.
But I will allow it.
He's better.
I mean, if we're picking people that used to be world champions, I mean, then whatever, it's fine. I mean,
he actually won the world champion as the comedy version.
So I mean, that's
Mick Foley.
True.
As Mankind.
This draft went a whole different way, but I mean, it's cool. I'm gonna still go with the stupid assholes that people shouldn't be picking. I'm gonna go Funkasaurus to piss off Chase, the new NWA champion, Funkasaurus in the fucking backfield.
I wish I could say it was a great pick, but you have taken your draft and you have just drafted all kickers, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah. Wait till you hear my last one.
I'm really gonna piss ABJ off with my pick.
Probably another world champion. We should have did a world champion draft.
See, mine's a hard one because I've got one that
just because you weren't creative enough to think of people. That's what pissed Mark off. Mark was mad because somebody thought of his top pick instead of him. And then when you started picking more top picks, he was like, "That's not fair."
He fell apart.
Is that how I sound, Chase?
No, it's not. That's not how you sound.
All right, because you use the same stupid voice for everybody. Go on with your next pick, Ryan.
For my next one, it's a hard one because I've got a choice of 2 here, but my problem is one of them is a team, and the other is an individual. So
individual, Scott. Stop trying to fuck everything up.
I mean, they already fucked it up, Scott. I mean, clearly everything goes.
If I take the team, I'm happy to cancel out my 5th pick. It's up to you guys, though.
Oh yeah, I'm cool with that. Then I get to pick twice.
Then I would say Team Hell No. The comedy shtick of Team Hell No.
Now, here's where I'll throw a flag.
This guy's throwing a flag. The guy picking champions is throwing a flag.
Hear me out.
You kidding me? You kidding me?
Here we go. If you would have thrown in like, I'm taking the like Headbangers, or I'm taking the Spirit Squad, I would say
I almost did pick the Spirit Squad.
Yeah, I would say that is more of a stupid gimmicky thing, but
it's stupid and comedic gimmicks.
Yeah.
So it was a comedy gimmick for Team Hell No.
But like, would you consider?
When were wrestlers going to go to therapy?
I mean, it happens every 6 months now in wrestling.
back then, when were wrestlers going to go to therapy?
I'll throw a flag, but it's up to you guys.
I mean, at this
Mark,
point,
what say you? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Whatever you want, man. I don't even care.
Wow, this is bitter.
I'm gonna thumbs down it. Scott, go with your singles wrestler.
You go with another pick here.
Then it's
I love you, Scott. But like I said, if you would have went like a Spirit Squad or something, I would have rolled with you for picking a team, and I would have let you have your 5th round pick.
Well, and ABJ, you lost your,
Eugene.
Fucker.
That's a good pick.
ABJ. You lost your rights to challenge. That was your one challenge.
You can only challenge one. You get one challenge a draft. Yeah.
Good call. Because you might throw the challenge flag for mine.
Oh no, he's making a rule.
Eugene was my next pick. That was a good pick.
Joey Ryan.
I approve. That's a comedy gimmick.
Okay, I figured you wouldn't allow. I figured you wouldn't allow it because he's a piece of dog shit. But
listen, we're not. If we had a list of cancelable people, then that's a great first rounder. But as also
that's on next week's episode.
Yeah, that would be
the king of dong style definitely belongs on this list.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. So it comes to me for the final pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
For your final pick, probably another world champion.
No, this one here, I don't think it's going to be on anyone's list. But I'm going to pick him out of pure respect. I thought he was a good comedy wrestler. I thought he was very, very much disrespected in the world of pro wrestling. And the reason I'm picking him is actually something that I found out maybe a couple months ago during a podcast. I'm going to go Chris Kanyon. Who bet at a Canyon? When he was doing the DDT spoof, and he was diamond cuttering people every single week. And the funniest one that I've seen that's still to this day, like when we were talking about the podcast, is when they used to do on Monday night on Nitro where they would show the arena and they would like have a huge wide out shot of the building that they were at, and there's just some random guy standing there and they're doing a shot of the arena, and then just out of nowhere Chris Kanyon comes running up. It just cuts him and then bang and then walks away. I'm going Chris Kanyon with the 5th pick.
You son of a bitch! You stole my next one.
And that's my draft.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That ABJ, you had a really good draft until that last one. That was a shit.
I love Chris Kanyon. I think Chris, and then when Chris Kanyon came back,
you can love Chris Kanyon, but it's a shitty pick.
I think I could have gone better, but I for my love, I would have went with Kanyon.
I'm gonna go.
Mutes the mic, unmutes it, dies into it, and then mutes it again.
I think my next and final pick will probably be my best pick. I think it has tremendous value, and I'm gonna go with The Godfather.
And the good train. See, that's a
yeah.
You should have went way higher with that pick.
Yeah.
You should have went way higher with that pick.
I'm gonna go. Someone fucked up my entire draft, so. But that whole train. Whew, wish I used to hang out with that motherfucker.
I may or may not have hung out with The Godfather and done something that. Done drugs with The Godfather.
All right then. Whoo, train. All right, Raz, final pick.
Oh, do I do it or do I not?
Yes, because you can have the goon.
Fuck it. We're going back to 1990 Survivor Series. And we're hatching that egg.
The gobbledygooker.
Yep. We're hatching that egg.
All right.
I debated on drafting him.
He didn't even pick a wrestler. That's awesome.
It was between him. Oh, wait, we'll do it at the end of the draft. I don't want to give anybody ideas.
The thing is, the gobbledygooker was Hector Guerrero, so technically I did pick a wrestler.
You did? All right.
Gobbledygooker.
I actually, you know who my 5th round pick was going to be, and it would have definitely got flagged. But I would have flagged it myself because he wasn't always a comedy gimmick, but he just did comedy very, very short time. But you could have went with another Guerrero, but that's neither here nor there. But go ahead, Chase.
Chase, final pick.
I was gonna go with Colt Cabana.
Ooh.
But I found a better suitor for my final pick. And that is the best pizza chef, Luigi Primo.
Oh,
All right. Can I do one? Can I do one? Just because Mark did so bad, and only because I kind of want to pick one more. Can we have an opportunity to throw one of our picks away and pick someone who hasn't been picked yet?
No, we can do honorary picks.
No, because I have an honorary that I want to say, but I actually want to.
You're ruining the point of a draft, sir.
You can eliminate
one. Narrow it down. I already gave you 2 extra picks.
You can trade. You can trade with somebody, but I mean, this is like the NFL draft here.
This
ABJ.
is it.
All right, you get 2 undrafted. Everyone gets 2 undrafted.
Oh, no, what the fuck is this 2 undrafted? No. What the fuck?
Honorary picks, guys that should have made it on your list, but for whatever reason, because you didn't think of it, or because
the only reason I'm saying this one is because he said teams, and I'm like, wow, how did we not touch on this? But the BWO.
I always said Mean Street Posse.
Yeah. Raz, your honorary pick.
Spirit Squad.
There it is. Chase.
I'm shocked fucking ABJ didn't be like, oh, the Undertaker, because it should have been just this guy picking fucking world champions and shit.
Look at the ham hocks on that guy.
How did Chase not say Danhausen? Like, that's his boy.
Yeah,
damn. There it is, bro.
Like,
woo!
I gave him to you.
Danhausen's on my jacket right there.
Like, like all your picks. I'm like, how's this guy saying Danhausen? Like,
the Dark Order not taken either.
Yeah, they are a joke now, aren't they?
So who wins?
The Repo Man not taken either.
I knew Repo Man.
He was the Repo Man. He was in Demolition. He was Mr. Hole in One. That guy had like more gimmicks than anybody. Him and Tugboat are like neck and neck. Hakeem the American Dream not taken.
Tatanka.
But I don't think Tatanka was supposed to be considered funny.
No, he wasn't.
Oh.
I would have flagged that.
SmackDown's #1 announcer.
Yes, Funaki.
Yeah,
I love Funaki.
I love Funaki, man.
Kai and Tai. Remember right before he went to being SmackDown's #1 announcer, Kai and Tai would come out and they would do like the English dub Japanese movie.
Speaking of Kai and Tai, no one took Val Venus.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
So my last pick was between The Godfather and Val Venus. And I was like, man, I don't know who to take.
You got the good one there, going Godfather.
But I like The Godfather better.
Doink the Clown fell off the list. Nobody took Doink.
I thought about Doink, but I was just like, no.
Well,
I mean, Bobby Heenan was funny, but he wasn't a funny character.
No. I mean, had you were not picking world champions, some of these guys that fell off the list should have been on the list, But you were out here picking world champions, so.
No, I think the guys I picked, the oddities not picked. I think the guys I picked they were people who start off as comedy bits and then turn themselves into world champions.
Yeah, whatever.
Now, granted,
next week's draft will be better, quicker, and more non-world champion.
Oh, I think the whole show itself we can get done within an hour and 45 minutes and not 3.5.
Yeah.
If you guys show up on time.
Yeah, if I was here on time, I wouldn't have gone this
long.
I was here on time.
30 minutes of this time was sitting waiting on you two, and then I finally asked Raz.
I told you guys to just start, and I would have.
I don't mean to say. I've picked on Mark enough tonight, ABJ. I was trying to.
All you had to do was just message me, and I would have been like, "Oh fuck."
Do you mean the message I sent you on fucking Instagram?
You didn't send me. You sent me something on Instagram.
Yep.
How do you think he got a hold of me?
We're gonna see if this motherfucker's lying.
He got a hold of me on Instagram because he sent me one on Discord. I didn't see the Discord one.
Where's the message, Chase?
Check
sent 3 hours ago. I sent it right at 10 p.m. It says you
Where's
coming.
Where's the message, Chase?
Right there, Mark.
It ain't here. It ain't here.
Another one didn't make the list. The Iconics. The Australian didn't go with the Australian comedy girls.
Yeah, I didn't like that gimmick.
That's because they weren't supposed to be comedy girls originally.
Oh my God, Billy
when
Kay
they
was
first
funny as
started.
fuck.
Guys. This was a draft with only 5 rounds. Okay,
Should have been 3.
If we do 10 or 15, then we can talk about all these little low tier motherfuckers that didn't make the list.
No,
Oh, like
we're gonna.
all the ones Mark drafted like early, the ones that.
First of all, Damien Mizdow should not have worked.
Yeah, that was like that was a good
gold.
solid 2-month run.
The
you know,
the boogeyman.
I'll give you
What the fuck is
Boogeyman.
that? Adam Rose is just a party animal. Funkasaurus is your new NWA champion, so fuck off since we're picking world champions.
They're all pretty terrible.
Since we're picking world champions, and then the Godfather. I mean, you can hang out with his hoes.
I'll give you the Godfather. That Godfather
Mark's
should be your
picks
number one
were Mark's picks were good, but Mark's picks were good for like rounds 8 to 13.
Yeah, like that's he drafted well for like day 5. You know what I mean?
I drafted.
He drafted day 5ers, and you know what I mean?
No, you know what he did? He drafted
Starcade,
the team.
I thought about it.
He drafted the team that is
that you were supposed
to
draft around the parameters that we were, not drafting world champions.
And he's also drafted the team that is going to come out from the shadows and kick everyone's ass.
All right.
No, my team wins in the fight all day long.
It's cool. You guys can vote. We're going to post it on our social medias, and you're going to see which team won, and my team won per the parameters of the draft. But since we're all going to 3.5 hours, I do want to go into this last segment that I actually like. So I would like all of us to choose one legitimate bad booking of the week from any promotion. Doesn't matter what it is.
Is this even a conversation? We all have the answer.
Who is it?
It's fucking the NWA World Champion.
Yeah.
Chase, what is your bad booking of the week, sir?
Theories cash in.
I would have went with that until they put a tile on fucking Funkasaurus.
I'm agreeing with Theories cash in. That is my bad booking of the week.
The only reason Mark or ABJ, I 1,000% agree with you. The only reason I'm not going with that is because 3,000 people saw that. So who gives a fuck?
No, it's all over the internet and people know about it. So
Raz, bad
it's
booking
so
of the
bad
week.
that people are just like forgetting about the Austin Theory cash in. They're like, Austin Theory lost his cash in, but fucking the NWA World Champion.
I'm going with ABJ on this one.
All right, ABJ
the NWA
and
World
Raz, NWA World Title. Ooh, conspiracy theory. Triple H paid NWA to give him the championship to get heat off Austin Theory's bullshit.
And another thing, I would be more upset with the NWA with the Austin Theory thing is if the Money in the Bank wasn't treated like a joke for the past 3 times it's been used anyway. Otis used it as a lunchbox for a year.
Yeah,
correct.
The NWA World Championship going to a guy who Chase drafted, that's crazy.
I drafted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He drafted him. I didn't draft him. Fuck out of here.
Oh, not Chase. You Mark drafted him. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, you know, one of the things to think about. I mean, you mentioned Trevor Murdoch. I mean, and Trevor Murdoch's a great talent.
Trevor Murdoch at least worked the entire year to like have a storyline to get up there and get it.
Yes, I know. But yeah, I will agree because not only with the bad booking to make Tyrus your champion, you also have your fucking owner on a podcast that's been clipped 1,000 times talking about how women's wrestling just doesn't sell and it's not important. So
I mean,
women's wrestling doesn't sell, and you had the 2 hottest women in the company at one point in time in your company and couldn't do it. Actually, 3 of the top women in your company, and you couldn't do anything with them. You had Camille, you had Mickey James, and Thunder Rosa, and traded away Thunder Rosa.
They've still got Camille.
Yeah. You have 3 people you could build a company around and can't. Well, listen, that was fun. Bad booking.
That's been a day.
Thank you, Raz, for bailing both of the really, really terrible co-hosts out. At least one had an excuse. I was, doing work within the wrestling industry. This guy was just beating his dick off for a half hour.
I was spending quality time with my future wife decorating for Christmas, but had Chase message somebody like a normal person, not on a social media platform, but legitimate, just message them, I would have been like, oh, fuck, let me get on this fucking show.
Look, I'm glad I could help out.
Because a Discord message and an Instagram message wasn't enough.
I already told you I meet the Discord, man, because it's my phone goes off all day at work, dude. I can't.
Dude, I'm the same.
Huh?
especially our Discord.
Yeah, dude. Like I have to mute it. My phone constantly. Not that I don't want to talk. Like if I could just sit there just all day, I would. But I have to. The Discord goes off more than anything else, and I have to fucking mute it.
Yeah.
So unless I literally go in and check the messages like I do, I'll never know. Don't even mess. If you need to get a hold of me, don't message me on Discord because I'm not going to see it until I decide to go into it.
Yeah.
I appreciate
let's get some plugs out. And Raz, we'll start with you, man. What do you want to put out there? What do you want people to know about?
Just check out Raz at Raz Darkwolf on TikTok. I'm starting to do a few more things on there. Join the ABJ Discord. Join the CR Media Discord. Follow my boys, CR Media, ABJ, and Pro Wrestling Kingpin. It's good to have Mark back.
Oh, thanks, man. Really?
It's very good.
I've missed his face.
That's really nice of you. Thanks.
Yeah.
I
miss seeing that angry face.
I was gonna say, man, the AEW Dynamite show has been pretty boring without you because Anthony and I just like we go down and Anthony's like, yeah, this was dog shit, and I'm like, yeah, this is dog shit. And I was like, you know what? If Mark was here, Mark would try to defend this dog shit, and at least we could talk about it. But ABJ and I are like, all right, next segment. This was shit.
Yeah.
There hasn't been much challenging.
I try to watch it at work, and it's not been dog shit.
Let's just kill Wednesday night and just focus on bad booking.
ABJ, I really enjoy your take on Dynamite. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I enjoy talking to you guys on Wednesdays. So, Thursdays for me.
I miss it on Wednesdays when I'm at home because I get home late. So I actually, when you guys are doing a show, I'm actually watching usually the segments that you guys go on or not touch off of. So sometimes I'll like chime in. That's what I did like a couple weeks ago. You guys were on the same thing I was watching, but like I fucking miss it, dude. It sucks. I'm like, all right, well, I got no one to talk to now.
So. We miss having you. We do it. We definitely miss having you.
Yeah, man.
So
Chase, where can people find you?
The social media tag right there at CR Media 1988. We're also live on my Twitch and on my YouTube. So if you are watching on either one of those, make sure you hit that follow button, that subscribe button, all that good stuff.
Mark.
All right. Same thing. That tag right here. It's now everywhere. Twitter sphere, TikTok, IG, and now Twitch.
And you can find me everywhere. Just search Anthony Blackwell Jr. Next episode will be live as well on my YouTube. I didn't get a chance to do that because you're not allowed to tag it if the show has already started. And your boy came in late because I was doing some commentary at the Sanctuary. And
Anthony, ABJ, your tag there is wrong. You're missing an extra L.
Yeah, I forgot an L. Good call. My bad.
He can't even spell his own name.
No, you know what's crazy is I've developed a third name in my life, and it's another name in my life, which is crazy. Like, so growing up, everyone called me Anthony, and then I went to Tony, and then I kind of like when I got older, I became Anthony again. Like when I started working in the workforce, because when I started like adding coworkers on social media, I just put Anthony Blackwell Jr. So if they ever see me in public, they go, "Hey, Anthony," and I go, "Oh, they're from work," and I go, "Hey, how you doing?" But my friends called me either Anthony or Tony, or they call me Blackwell, or Black was a nickname for a while for me. But now I've created this. I've created this ABJ thing, and it's only been around not even 2 months now. But like I'm at wrestling shows, and that's like my name now at wrestling shows. I'm like, "Yo, ABJ," and I was just like. It's weird. It's weird getting a new name in a recent time. But yeah, ABJ has been a thing. Like even on Discord, Hunter's like, "ABJ, what do you think of this?" I'm like, "Wow, I'm not used to that yet." But I'm falling in love with it. Yeah.
ABJ works. It just works. It fits you
so
well.
It kind of feels good. I'm kind of into it. If my wife starts calling me it, we'll see. But
she just wants to give you ABJ.
Yeah, usually she doesn't call it to me because I'm telling her, "Hey, how about ABJ?" And she's like, "Yeah, your show's good. I get it." You know.
Have you asked her for a gobby yet?
No, God, I have not. First I have to explain to her what a gobby is, and then I'll ask for it. But yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't even take my jacket off. I came home and I'm literally like scrambling. I just realized my jacket's still on. But thank you guys.
Dope jacket.
We will. Thank you. It is. There's a lot going. You would actually really like it, Mark. There's a lot of comic book stuff.
I've been peeping at the entire show.
The whole sleeve has the Bat Family on it.
Yeah, I see right here. You got some Spider-Man action right there. You got some Deadpool, I believe. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Got the Robin logo.
Look at you. Oh, there's a Gengar.
Cool. I mean, Squirtle and Blastoise, greatest Pokemon of all time.
Hey, ABJ, you look at the back of your jacket and then look at this.
I love it, man.
Yeah, I made this myself. I'm pretty proud of this.
Yeah. The back of your jacket has
this bad boy just came in today.
Does anyone know what the Mr. Yuck sticker is?
Check that out.
Is that Stone Cold's comic?
Yeah, that's 9.8. Just caught it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, thank you guys. Listen, every show will not be 3.5 hours. We will lock this down and figure it out.
We're gonna tighten up. We're gonna be here on time.
I won't be here every show.
Who knows? We'll figure it out. But anyway, because we will open to guests, maybe that's something we did talk about. So you might make an appearance. But thank you guys for the first episode. For all hanging out, and we'll see you guys very soon. I'll let Chase close this out. I'm sorry. What am I doing?
Oh, you're good. I was just going to say for everybody here.
The 5 hour.
Yeah,
we're in the Jim Cornette territory right now. 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I heard that.
Next show will run for 5 hours.
All this bad booking, I would have done it better.
You know, next week you have to come in with a tennis racket.
That fucking Vince Russo.
That goddamn son of a bitch. I want to live long enough so I can piss on his grave.
You have to come in with a tennis racket next week. You know that, don't you?
Someone said that I remind him of Jim Cornette. I almost committed murder.
Wow.
I would have committed murder.
Well, go ahead, Chase. Close us out of here.
Close us out of here, buddy.
Yep, absolutely. This has been the inaugural episode of Bad Booking. Have a fantastic night, guys.
That was it? That's the close?